Sent them on the road with renewed confidence. The Rangers start a 6-game, 2-week trip against the Winnipeg Jets, who played well of late with only one loss in their last 6 games. Andrew McBain is one of the men most likely to cause trouble around the net. Dan Maloney's team is trying to close in on the other teams in the improved Smythe division. The New York Rangers take on the Winnipeg Jets tonight. Celebration Day in Winnipeg, Manitoba, as the people of Winnipeg celebrated the Grey Cup Championship won by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Sunday when they beat the BC Lions. James Jefferson was the most valuable player of the game, and Sean Salisbury out of USC was the quarterback and one of the heroes for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They defeated the BC Lions 22-21 in Ottawa on Sunday and came home yesterday to a celebration, and then at City Hall they raised the Grey Cup, the champions of the Canadian Football League, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Here in the Winnipeg Arena, the Winnipeg Jets would like to get the fans happy too. They take on the New York Rangers. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Rosen along with John Davidson. It's a pleasure to welcome you to New York Rangers hockey. And, John, very cold around these parts, and the Blue Bombers were celebrating today.
Did you see those coats? You need them around here, folks. It is cold. It's hockey weather. And, Sam, for the Rangers, they're starting a 6-game road trip. The start tonight will be 4 games, consecutive games within the Smythe division, and they're going in against a tough Winnipeg team tonight.
And the Smythe division is well improved, very improved. In fact, all 5 teams in the Smythe division are at 500 or above. Winnipeg has only played 20 games this season.
Yeah, they played. They're 1 point behind Vancouver, yet they played 6 fewer games. It's kind of ironic that the schedule is set that way. But this club, Sam, they've played well. They've got some balanced scoring now. Their power plays the #1 rated power play on home ice. This will be a test. It will be a Rangers test because the Winnipeg Jets are extremely quick, a fast skating club.
They have one big line led by the all-star Dale Hawerchuk. To stop him, the Ranger key men will be the centers, one of whom is Kelly Kissio.
Well, Kissio or Granato will be one of the 2 centermen that they would want against Dale Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk will get a lot of ice time, especially if the Rangers take the lead. So with Kissio, his problem, Sam, may be a stamina problem. He has had lots of injuries this year, and when he's come back, for instance, on Sunday night, he came back and ended up being thrown out of the game, and he wants to play, and he wants to play a lot to develop more stamina. So either Granato or Kissio will see the ice time against Dale Hawerchuk. Kissio is an excellent face-off man when he has to be. He's also extremely strong in the fact that he plays well on the road. I think he'll do a good job against Hawerchuk.
Now, if the Rangers can stop Dale Hawerchuk, a key man for the Winnipeg Jets is their outstanding wing, Andrew McBain, who has 15 goals.
And 8 of those 15 on the power play. Again, I mentioned 33.3% rate on the power play on home ice. #1 in the league. Andrew McBain has scored 5 goals in his last 3 games. He's a big power forward who thrives on playing with Hawerchuk. On the left side on that line, they have Brent Ashton, who was acquired in the McLean trade from Detroit. He's a defensive winger. So for the Rangers to defend that Hawerchuk-McBain line, the left side of the Rangers line against him has to do a good job.
Rangers will be missing Ulf Dahlin. He injured his shoulder Saturday night against the New York Islanders. He's missing his 2nd straight game. So there'll be a lot of line juggling. Tomas Sandstrom will open up on the left wing, but we'll see him double shift.
The most interesting thing I think there, Sam, is the fact that the Rangers have a lot of wingers who can play left wing or right wing. Liba can, Sandstrom can, Mullen can, a number of the Ranger players can, and that makes it easier for a coach to juggle lines. Now, with the injury problems the Rangers have, and Deblois out, as you mentioned, Dahlin out, etc., they've had to juggle lines, and the Rangers have become used to playing with different people. And what it turns around and you really have to center with is the fact that their system is one that the team can play and play it very well.
New York Rangers hitting the ice, and you talk about using different people. The Rangers have been able to win despite several key injuries, several players out of the lineup. For example, on Sunday, getting contributions from Igor Liba, from Brian Lawton, and Guy Lafleur came back with an outstanding game.
And Lafleur loved the amount of ice time he had. I think he'll get just as much in this hockey game. And for the Rangers, again, going into Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, just in the Smythe to start this road trip, this is an important game right now for the Rangers to get it going.
Winnipeg Jets started slowly this season. As you look at their captain, Dale Hawerchuk, they were 2-4-2 beginning the season. They then fired the former New York Ranger general manager and coach John Ferguson. The general manager is gone. It's strange to be in Winnipeg without John Ferguson here. He's gone since then. They've gone 7-3-2. Maybe a coincidence. Bob Froese starts in goal for the Rangers. Pokey Reddick for the Winnipeg Jets will be set to go in just a moment. Welcome back to the Winnipeg Arena. The Rangers' first and only trip to Winnipeg this season. Thank you very much. When it's minus 15 tonight, you can understand why. That is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Before the start of the game, the Jets' backup goaltender for tonight, former New Jersey Devil goalie Alan Chevrier, receiving award as NHL Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Outstanding honor for him.
Won 3 games in a row. Not only that, scored 2 assists. Playmaker. Congratulations to Alan Chevrier, Player of the Week 2 weeks ago.
Rangers lineup tonight: Maloney, Sandstrom, Mullen, and Ogrodnik, the left wingers. Centers Granato, Kissio, Lafreniere, and Lawton. The right wings Nyland, Leba, Lafleur, and Poshek. On defense, Greshner with Patrick, Leach, and Petit, McIver, and Shaw. Frozen goal, and Van Beesbrook is the backup. New York Rangers having won 2 in a row over the weekend. And right now, the applause, the Grey Cup has been brought in to the arena. There it is, right in the middle of your picture. Dale Hawerchuk there. The Grey Cup. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers won it in 1984, and for the second time in the last 5 years, they win it in 1988. A team that finished 9-9 in the regular season, and then won 3 straight in the playoffs, as they defeated Hamilton, Toronto, and then won the big one over the BC Lions 22-21 in Ottawa. Congratulations to the people of Winnipeg and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Grey Cup champions, champions of the Canadian Football League. What a happy moment. They had a ceremony here for the team last night, over 10,000 on hand to cheer on the Blue Bombers.
It was an upset, beating British Columbia in the Grey Cup final. A big upset.
They had lost 45-18 the last game of the regular season to the BC Lions. Dale Hawerchuk congratulating the Blue Bombers. All right, number 1. Well, you know, it was interesting, John, in that game, the Grey Cup championship game, a lot of wind in Ottawa, and the Blue Bombers play in a wide-open stadium, so they were used to the wind. They used that to their advantage.
The windiest corner in North America is at Portage in Maine, which is right in downtown Winnipeg, and I'm telling you, it's a cold, cold corner. Pretty excited here, aren't they? That's great.
Nice moment for the champions of the Canadian Football League. Take a look at the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets. Ashton, Smale, Duncan, Dave Hunter on the left wing. Hawerchuk, Steen, Boschman, and Brad Jones, the centers. McBain, Elena, Paul Fenton came over from L.A. and Ray Neufeld, the right wings. Defense, Ellett and Olesen, Carlisle, Taglianetti, Kite, and Numanen. Chevrier is the backup tonight. Pokey Reddick is the starter in goal. Mario Marois still out injured for the Winnipeg Jets.
Bad Charlie horse.
And there's Bob Froese starting in goal, the road goalie.
His last start was a 6-4 win in Long Island on Saturday night. That was on the 26th. 4-2-1 on the road. He's won 4 times on the road. Did not practice today, Sam. His last road games, he has not practiced the day of the game, and he's superstitious. Pokey Reddick, who was outstanding in St. Louis on Saturday night, gets the start for Winnipeg. The Jets were outshot 12-4 in the third period in that game, and 5-1 in overtime, and Reddick put a show on.
Billy McCreary is the referee tonight. Rangers have not won with Bill McCreary as the referee. 2 losses and a tie. Ray Scapinello and Shane Heyer, the 6'7" linesman. Michel Bergeron said today, don't trade him to Winnipeg. He didn't like the cold. It was cold in his hotel room. Dan Maloney, things have turned around for the Jets after a bad start.
They've won 3 straight on home ice. You know, Sam, with that John Ferguson firing, you look at the record since the firing, the Jets have done well. I think it woke up the Jet players, and they have a lot of respect. This whole city still has a lot of respect for John Ferguson, one of the good people in the game. And the players may be playing well as a tribute to John Ferguson.
Rangers open with Kissio centering for Nyland and Maloney. Greshner and Patrick on defense. Seppo Numminen, number 27, moves it around to Ray Neufeld. It's Boschman, Neufeld, and Duncan up front for Winnipeg. The puck taken away nicely by Kissio. Kite and Numminen paired on defense. Maloney for the puck in the corner, checked by Numminen. Kite back for it, moves it up the boards. Ian Duncan, number 19, plays it out. Nyland sends it back. And big Jim Kite, they've been talking about him after he got hammered in Detroit, knocked out by Joe Kocur in a fight, and then also clipped with a stick by Steve Yzerman. They're sending tapes of that to the NHL officers. Long shot off the glass. Boschman plays it behind the goal line. Patrick knocked away by Duncan. Boschman for the puck. Greshner after it. Boschman's got it. Comes out in front. He shoots. And it's deflected wide.
Two defensemen got tied up with Duncan in front, and that allowed Boschman to move out front, but he missed the net with a shot. Both Greshner and Patrick were tied up with one man in front of Bob Froese.
Rangers with a complete change. Tony Granato comes on with Igor Liba and Tomas Sandstrom.
Winnipeg's last game was in St. Louis Saturday night, and the St. Louis Blues dumped the puck in all game long, and in doing so wore down the defenseman for Winnipeg. You talk about Jim Kite. He does have a cut on his upper lip, and that was the slash to the stick swing from Yzerman. They have sent the tape into the league suggesting a suspension. Sam, he was punched 3 times in that fight from Joey Kocur. I was sitting at home watching it, and he was knocked out cold before he hit the ice surface. He got up, made the charter that night, and played the next night. And it's amazing that he was even allowed to play. He was cleared medically, but boxers, when they get knocked out, they can't fight for sometimes 60 days or 90 days. But Kite played the next day. He's a gutsy guy.
Hawerchuk line is on, and Granato is opposite Hawerchuk. That's the matchup that Michel Bergeron wants. Hawerchuk for the puck. Plays it back to Randy Carlyle, number 8. Brian Leach paired with Michel Petit on defense. Leach with a nice move past Brent Ashton. Liba's pass deflected, comes back in front. Rose steers it to Petit. Taken away by Hawerchuk, leaves it for Andrew McBain. Back for Hawerchuk, Granato checks him. Ashton hits the side of the net, McBain's got the puck. McBain centering pass blocked. Ashton with a chance, saved by Froese. Knocked away by Leach. Finally, Liba takes the puck and gets out. Liba had a fine game against the Islanders on Sunday. Offside coming across, 17:54 to go. First period. There's no score at the Winnipeg Arena. We'll be right back.
Guy Lafleur on the ice for his first shift here in Winnipeg. He's opposite Smale, a very speedy winger. And Sam, you look at this line, centered by Steen with Smale and Eleniuk, the rookie. This has been the best line for Winnipeg at even strength. The Rangers have to respect that. Everybody thinks about the Hawerchuk line. Don't forget about this one.
Rangers with their third line on the ice, Lafreniere, Lafleur, and Mullen. McIver and Shaw on defense. Smale coming across the line, fires it wide of the net. Mullen, the former Winnipeg Jet, plays it back behind the net. Shaw moves it. Lafleur tied up with Dave Ellett. McIver takes the puck. He's chased by Pat Eleniuk, number 34. It's out of the zone off the stick of Frederick Olofsson, who's just back after missing a couple of games with an injury. Ellett back for the puck. Checked there by Lafreniere.
You watch the beginning of this game, it doesn't look like a Patrick Division game because you don't see the board work. You'll see a lot more freewheeling, a lot more dump and chase, not as near as much banging as an Islander-Ranger game or a Ranger-Pittsburgh game.
Rangers playing 4 straight games against Smythe Division teams. Smale coming down, centers for Steen. Patrick looking for it, goes side of the net. Smale centers off the stick of Froese. Good play by Bob Froese. Here comes Lafleur. And he brings the crowd alive. It was broken up by Numminen. Eleniuk sends it across, and John Ogrodnik takes it. Rangers with their 4th line on now. Lawton with Ogrodnik, now Sandstrom double shifting, playing the right wing on that 4th line.
In place of Rudy Poshak, who hasn't been on the ice yet.
Lawton trying to steal Ogrodnik with a tip, and it's stopped by Pokey Reddick. Good play and a good effort by the Rangers line of Lawton, Sandstrom, and Ogrodnik, who tipped it on goal.
The key there was Lawton getting to the man quickly, and that was McBain. And Ogrodnik never had a chance to get onto the forehand quickly. You'll see here, Lawton outfight McBain, and see how Ogrodnik had to go to the backhand? And that's the first time Reddick has had to play the puck in this hockey game. Shots 1-0 in favor of Winnipeg, and that was the shot by Ashton on Bob Froese. Pokey Reddick, you talked about the goaltending situation in Winnipeg. Berthiaume, Reddick, and Chevrier are the three main goaltenders. Berthiaume was a walkout, just reported back to Moncton in the American League. Reddick is well liked by his teammates. They love to play for this guy in goal.
Nyland off his stick, blocked by Carlisle. Kissio has the puck. Kissio still with it, comes toward the net. Trying to pass, and it slid off his stick. Kissio takes it away from Neufeld. Maloney and Carlisle go for it. Kissio comes in to help. Maloney still working against Carlisle. Taglianetti picks up Maloney. Maloney trying to get out in front. Kissio goes over to take the puck and shoots. Save off the glove of Pokey Reddick. Maloney gets to the puck. Centers, and it's taken away by Ian Duncan. Out comes Ray Neufeld. One time Hartford Whaler drives one wide. Up the boards and out. Carlisle sends it across to Frederick Olofsson. Pass froze up the boards and out of the zone. Kissio looking for it, couldn't find it. Dave Ellett takes it away. Ellett has been an offensive force on the back line for the Winnipeg Jets this season with 7 goals.
Well, the Rangers should get too many men here. Oh, did they get away with that one? Bad line change. The puck came over to the bench at the same time. That should have been a too many men on the ice penalty.
One of the few bad line changes
all
the
year
Rangers have had this season. Greshner carrying the puck.
That's one of their big improvements from last season.
Liba takes the pass from Granato, but Sandstrom ahead of the playoff side. 15-18 to go. First period, still no score.
Here's that line change we were talking about. The puck comes to the bench. The player jumping on is Liba. The player going off. You have to be within 5 feet of the bench when you jump on. But if you jump on and play the puck, and before the man gets off, there's a problem. Bergeron, as we went to commercial, was telling his players to get much sharper, much quicker thinking as far as line changes go, or to be a problem.
Leach moves in. Still has it. Centers. Blocked in front. Just missed by Granato. Petit keeps it in the zone. Howardchuk takes it back for the Winnipeg Jets.
When you play a fast-paced team like Winnipeg, a good skating team, that makes the line changes much more important simply because there'll be more changes on the fly than you're used to.
Battle along the boards. Granato wins the battle and shoots. Knocked away by Reddick with a blocker. Ellett has the puck. Checked by Granato. He deflects it. Kept in by Liba. Sandstrom has it. Hand pass is whistled. See, now that's a call. Kelly Kissio
having a skate repaired. He must have dicked an edge, and quickly the trainer, Jacques Caillé, has gone into the locker room, and he's sharpening that skate now for Kelly Kissio.
See, now that was a hand pass call that really, I don't think should be called. That wasn't a deliberate hand pass. He knocked the puck down.
So that rule, they've talked about it. They may change it because it slows down the pace of the game itself. Now, Kissio or Granato are the centermen that the Rangers want opposite this man, Dale Howardchuk. So now they're able to get Granato out there with Mullen and Lafleur. So the wingers will be changing with the centerman all game long for the Rangers. And the Rangers have to be aware of Howardchuk simply because they have 2 players that do the majority of the scoring. Goals, that is, and that's Howardchuk and McBain.
That's right, Howardchuk with 12, McBain with 15.
And they're both on the same line.
Olofsson with the puck. Make that 5.5 minutes gone by in the first period. Here's Andrew McBain moving down. Fires it deflected off of Norm McIver. Granato takes it and moves it around the boards for Lafleur. Shaw. Nice pass to Mullen. Olofsson there. Olofsson breaks it up. McBain takes it back. Andrew McBain. First round draft pick a few years back to the Winnipeg Jets. Lawton behind the back to Mullen. Backhander was blocked. Mullen still working against Ellis. Lafleur is tied up by Ashton. And Olofsson moves it out of the zone. McBain moving in. Drops it back with a bad drop pass. Rangers turn. 3-on-2. Lawton across the line. But Lafleur for the shot wide. McBain takes the rebound. Now it's Jim Kite coming forward. Kite against Greshner. Patrick goes for the puck. Patrick. For Lafleur. Taken away by Paul Fenton. He's on with Dave Hunter. Hunter was picked up in the waiver draft by the Winnipeg Jets. Fenton. And taken back by Patrick, who clears the zone.
The 4th line for Winnipeg on the ice. Their first shift, and we're almost 7 minutes into the period. They will play 2, maybe 3 shifts a period in watching Winnipeg's previous game.
Ogrodnik with a shot saved by Reddick. Poshek on for the first time. Moves it around the boards. Newman and Ogrodnik tie each other up. Paul Fenton, number 11, hit by Poshek. Good check. Up
along the boards. Ogrodnik with a back pass to Petit, and it's tapped out by Brad Jones. 12:45 to go in the first. No score. Petit with the puck.
You can term this game a polite game to this point. Not much hitting, not much banging. Both teams seem to respect the other team's offenses. We have not seen a real big break, a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1.
Winnipeg Jets, after this game, will play 6 straight against Smythe Division teams as they try to close ground. They've played 6 fewer games than the Vancouver Canucks. Nice play by Nyland, and he races for the puck. Carlisle is there to clear the zone. Pat Elenick, number 34. He scored 7 goals in 14 games since being called up from Moncton. Now Peter Taglianetti comes in. Hip check by Leach. Doug Smale for the puck. Petit on him. In the corner, Thomas Steen. Steen looking to make the play. Centers for Elenick. It's off his stick. Nyland on him. Now Steen along the boards. Checked by Leach. Steen trying to get free. Still has it. Still working. Steen with a good effort. Plays it for Elenick. Nyland stops him. Plays it into the corner. Smale has it. Good pressure by the Jets. The shot wide by Smale. Carlisle keeps it in.
This is that line we were talking about, Sam.
Petit able to get it out of the zone. Maloney comes in with Kissio. Carlisle breaks it up. And Steen coming back. Kissio hooking at him. Steen goes down. Nothing called. Carlisle has the puck. Norm McIver takes it. McIver has played well of late. I think that's 6 points in the last 5 games for Norm McIver. Icing called on the Rangers. Play stopped with 11:14 to go. First period, no score. Sam Rosen and John Davidson here at the Winnipeg Arena. Start of a 6-game road trip for the Rangers. Playing Calgary on Thursday night, in Edmonton Sunday, next Tuesday in Vancouver, Thursday in Hartford, and Saturday afternoon in Boston. And back home to take on the LA Kings on Monday, December the 12th.
Good start for Tony Granato, though, so far. His legs cramped up in his last game Sunday night because of the amount of ice time that he had.
Boschman, good face-off man, won the draw, but the shot was shanked by Olesen. A whistle, penalty called in front. Granato will go off. He took down Laurie Boschman.
Boschman won the draw, and Granato's job when you lose the draw is to stay with the other team's centerman, and he did. And Boschman tried to drive to the net, and he's a much bigger player than Tony Granato is size-wise, and you'll see Granato put the stick through the legs and drag him down. So now we get to see Winnipeg's power play. Interesting. Number 1 on home ice, number 14 on the road. What a difference.
Granato with a problem with his stick. I think he wants a new stick from the bench. This is the only arena in which they have not complied with the change for the penalty box. It's still on the side of the home team, on the home team's bench. It will be changed next season, we're told.
Quebec changed, Montreal changed, and Boston changed. Of the 4 arenas, only Winnipeg didn't change, and it's to their advantage.
Granato for interference at 8:50. Jets first power play. Back pass to Carlisle. Works it ahead to McBain. McBain, Howard, Chuck, and Duncan up front. Duncan moving to the net. It's tipped. Good play by Patrick. Howard Chuck. Centers for Duncan. Oh, he tried to feed McBain. Went right through his skates. Good play. McBain standing side of the net, right at the post. McBain chops at Greshner. Lawton tries to clear. Ellett keeps it in. Ellett moves, fakes the shot. Centers. Save is made in front. Howard Chuck turns. Hit the side of the net. Howard Chuck checked by Greshner. Back pass to Ellett. Now to Carlisle. He turns for the shot. Blocked in front by Patrick. And he'll get out. Speed for Kissio. Kissio against Carlisle. Kissio with a chance. Trying to beat Carlisle one-on-one. McBain sends it back the other way. Across the line, Ellett beats Duncan. Moving in. He shoots, saved by Froze with a minute to go on the power play.
Great pass by Ellett. He drew 2 people to him. Moved it in front, and Bob Froze had to make the save.
Ellett keeps it in again to Duncan. Now it's Howard Chuck. Waits, then shoots. Deflected in front. Petit with Duncan on him. Moves it around the glass. Kissio. Upended. Carlisle. McBain has it. The Jets able to keep the puck in the zone for long periods of time. Here comes Howard Chuck. Slid off his stick. And it's cleared by Mullen.
Same unit for Winnipeg for a minute and a half. Now they finally get to the bench to make a change. Howard Chuck, though, along with McBain, stay on the ice. The 2 defensemen and the left winger change.
Sandstrom wheeling away from Ellenuk. Sandstrom's on with Mullen. Shaw drives it all the way down.
That should be a warning for the Rangers. Winnipeg moved the puck around extremely well. You can see why their power play works on home ice. Stay away from any types of bad penalties.
3 seconds to go in the penalty to Granato, and now it's over. Teams are back at full strength, and the Jets are 0 for 1 on the power play. Puck deflected over the boards by Granato, stepping back onto the ice. 9:07 to go in the first period. There's no score. Rangers 4 shots on goal. Winnipeg Jets with 3, and the Jets on that power play had 2 shots on goal.
Ellett, a very offensive-minded defenseman. You'll see him, he's playing over on the right side here. Look at 2 Rangers go over to him, Mullen and Petit, so he dumps it off to Duncan, who's a left-handed shot, has a good angle here to shoot it. And Bob Froese played the angle well, put the puck, the rebound into the corner. Ellett and Olesen are the 2 best defenses for the Jets as far as pairings go. Good players.
Kept in momentarily by Lafreniere. Here comes Doug Smale. 2-on-1 with Ellenuk. Leach is back. Feed to Ellenuk. He's in. He shoots. Saved by Froese. Ellenuk again. Checked by Leach.
Ryan Leach played that pretty well, Sam. He may have deflected that wide of Froese.
Smale can't handle the pass. Lafreniere takes the puck. Petit finds it. Checked by Steen. He gave it away to Steen. Back pass to Smale. A shot deflected and blocked by Petit, who clears it aside. Seppo Numminen keeps it in. Back behind the net, Petit. Ellenuk picked off nicely by Leach. Given away again to Steen. Petit gets it back and clears the zone. Lafreniere brings it across the line. Offside. Mullen was in the zone. 8:17 to go. First period. Still no score. Right back here on Madison Square Garden Network Thursday night at 9:30 from the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary. The Rangers and the Calgary Flames. The Flames have not lost on home ice this season. That'll be a test.
It will be a real test. Calgary plays Edmonton right after the next Ranger game the next night. It'll be a very interesting hockey game and see how the Rangers can do against a team that's big and fast. It'll be a fun game.
Brad Jones moving in toward the net as Fenton sent it across. Puck cleared out of the zone. Dave Ellett going back for it. Dave Ellett, who started Bowling Green. Giveaway, Sandstrom with a good shot and a save by Pokey Reddick.
The giveaway because Leva read where that pass was going to do. He got over to the boards, upset the play, and allowed Sandstrom to move in for the shot.
Ellett slides it across, but Brad Jones in the zone ahead of the play is offside with 7:39 to go in this first period. On the scoreboard, Detroit leading the Islanders 2-0. Goals by Yzerman and McLean as Yzerman continues his hot play and the Islanders continue to struggle. Philadelphia, 2 goals by Rick Tocchet, a shorthanded goal and a power play goal, leading Boston 3-0. St. Louis leading Washington 1-0 in the first period. Later games, a couple of other games coming up. New Jersey is at Los Angeles, Chicago at Minnesota, and Vancouver at Calgary.
You talked about the Blue Bombers that won the Grey Cup, the football team. James Patrick, his dad, Steve, he played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, won 4 Grey Cups. He was defensive tackle, a great big man. So there's a little tie-in there. Steve Patrick, his brother, is here at the game tonight. James Patrick, of course, played for the Rangers.
Was also here. Former Ranger winger Billy Fairburn was here at the game.
Butch Goring this morning?
Goring was at the skate this morning. Tom Maloney digging, battling with Jim Kite.
See Nyland there along the boards. He's the third forward. He's staying what you call third man up high. Not getting involved in the play because if he does, Winnipeg will break out of the zone.
Puck out in center. Neufeld stopped by Greshner. Good check. Loose puck back behind the goal line. Froese fires it around the boards and out to center. He had a huge TV production meeting in one of the rooms across from the Ranger locker room, and Michel Bergeron walked in on it. And he looked around, saw about 20 guys, and he said, "Don't forget, third man high." 6:35 to go as the whistle stops playing the offside. No score in the game. Neufeld's shaken up on the play, but he's okay now.
Newman and the defenseman here will get the puck outside of the blue line, number 27. Shoot it in, it comes off the glass and caught Neufeld right in the face. And he has stayed on the bench. He appears to be all right. I don't think he's even going to miss a shift.
5 shots apiece in a quiet first period. No score with 6:25 remaining as Pokey Reddick stops the puck. Reddick's second straight start after Alan Chevrier. It started 5 in a row. Sandstrom takes the puck away, try to pass to Granato, put it right into the jersey of Taglianetti.
Rangers patient with their forechecking, waiting for mistakes, and there was a mistake. The pass out, I believe, by Carlisle, but Sandstrom didn't want to shoot the puck on the play.
Carlisle in center has the puck. Petit back for it. Up the boards for Leba. He's checked by Hawerchuk. Brent Ashton gives it away to Petit, plays it off the boards, and here comes Granato. Leba trailing. Granato against Carlisle. Carlisle tries to take him out, pulled him down. Penalty called. Good rush by Tony Granato, and once again it's Granato's speed that makes the play, draws the penalty on Randy Carlisle. Rangers power play coming up. They've called the penalty on Andrew McBain for holding.
Well, there's two different Ranger players going to the net. There's Carlisle on his man, and you see McBain holding up Sandstrom right there in front of the net. Actually, there was three different players. The Rangers went to the net. There were 3 players with second efforts, and it was McBain who was called. The Rangers against the Islanders over the weekend were 2 for 13 in the series. They practiced their power play this morning, and the coaching staff had Marcel Dion on the ice helping the Rangers try to get their power play going a little better.
Leach and Patrick at the points. Kissio, Lafleur, and Mullen up front. Lafleur fakes, goes back to Leach, and one time's it save made by Reddick. Mullen looking for a deflection in front.
You know, excuse me, Sam, when Lafleur sets those passes up, he makes good soft passes. Leach was able to step into that pass without stopping it. One time the shot, one motion the shot, and forced the goaltender to make the save. But Reddick was smart. He kicked that rebound wide.
Smale, Steen, Ellett, and Olesen. Here's a chance for Lafleur. He scores! Guy Lafleur! It's a power play goal! And the Rangers lead 1-0.
For Guy Lafleur, he plays right wing on a regular shift. On the power play, he changes sides. He's a right-handed shot. And you'll see the puck come to him quickly here from Reddick. A bad play, really. And Lafleur, since he's a right-handed shot on the other side of the ice, can move into the puck and just get rid of it quickly. This puck is coming in on a deflection on Reddick. Lafleur is by himself as the Winnipeg Jet team has collapsed to the puck side of the ice. Lafleur was waiting outside of traffic and scored the goal on the rebound, a power play goal for the Rangers.
And Lafleur, who was down for a couple of games, has really gotten going. He had a goal and 2 assists on Sunday. He now has, excuse me, John, 3 goals in the last 5 games.
Wow. It's amazing what a little redirection or deflection will do to a goaltender. When Kissio deflected that puck, it just upsets the goaltender's movements, and he wasn't able to recover, Reddick that is, and all Reddick did was just put it out to the side, and Lafleur was standing there.
Guy Lafleur now has 10 points on the power play this season, 4 of his 7 goals. So Lafleur, who has 17 points, 10 of them on the power play, picks up his 7th goal of the season. Rangers get in front. The tip by Smale is a save by Froome. Now it's Steen, centering, kept in by Smale. Jets with good quickness. The puck deflected again. Element takes it. Petit finally works it free to Leba, and Leba clears the zone.
The puck was in the Rangers zone for 45 seconds. The Rangers played very strong defense. Sam, the Rangers been in trouble.
Tickets for all Ranger home games, beginning with the Hartford Whalers game on January the 2nd through the New York Islanders game on April the 2nd. Second half of the season tickets for New York Rangers hockey. New stick for Bob Froese. And what's a referee for if not to service the goaltender?
Bob Froese did not practice today. Only John Van Beesbrook was on the ice for the Rangers. Bob Froese won on Saturday night in Long Island. He did not practice that day. He won in Philadelphia. His previous, there were 2 starts prior to that, I believe it is, and he did not practice that day. Long year in that department with the change that Philadelphia has made on the blue line. As you look at Andrew McBain, who's had a huge improvement for this hockey club. Sam, with McBain, penalty up right now. Don Maloney's in the penalty box for the Rangers, tripping the call. McBain will stay on the ice. And the big line for Winnipeg, they changed to take Ashton off the ice. Here's Maloney tripping up. the Winnipeg player. That's Taglianetti, the defenseman, and Maloney in the penalty box. The second time the Rangers have been shorthanded. But they take Ashton off the line, put Duncan up on left wing because he's more of an offensive player than Ashton is.
Maloney for tripping at 17-17. Second power play for the Jets. Ellett and Carlisle at the points. Duncan standing in front. Hawerchuk has the puck. Now Duncan slides off to the right corner. Ellett, Hawerchuk, McBain cutting in. Pass was to Duncan. He's checked there by Petit. Petit and Shaw. Kissio and Sandstrom for the Rangers. Shaw poking it. Sandstrom unable to clear. Carlisle did a good job keeping it in. Shot. Ellett hits the post and goes in. Play goal for Dave Ellett. Ties it at 1-1. Each team with a power play goal.
Ellett changes sides. He plays right defense in the power play. Duncan is the man in front along with Petit. Carlisle finds his open teammate. Duncan is now going to the front of the net. And you'll see Petit with him. The shot hits the post. Back and hits Bob Froze, and it slithers over the goal line. You'll see Ellett, the best shooting defenseman for Winnipeg, have time to take the shot, and he beat Bob Froze with it. And with Duncan parking his body in front, Michel Petit couldn't move him out of the way.
Ellett, 8th goal of the season, his 4th power play goal, ties it at 1-1. Lafreniere, Mullen, and Lafleur on for the Rangers, with McIver and Shaw. Shaw bumped by Hunter. The puck deflects into the Rangers bench, stopping play with 2:07 to go in the first. Dave Ellett, former star at Bowling Green, played on their national championship team in 1984, and he has scored in double figures in goals each of his first 4 seasons, and now has 8 goals this season.
He was hurt last year with a bad Charlie horse. Came back when he was only 50% ready to come back because the Jets were losing. Now recently he sprained an ankle badly. The team was winning, so he didn't have to come back and play when he wasn't healthy. Now the team waited, allowed him to get healthy again, and you've seen already in this first period what a valuable player he is. And when he's teamed with Olesen like they're on the ice right now together, a tremendous pair for Winnipeg on the blue line.
Neufeld sending it in. Hunter goes for the puck. Hunter fires, hits the side of the net. Shaw chopped at by Boschman. Mullen moves it. Here comes Lafreniere, joined by McIver. 3-on-2 across the line. McIver shoots and is blocked by Ellett. Olesen takes the puck. Fires out to Laurie Boschman. Rangers caught in the chain. Patrick gets over. Boschman stopped by Patrick. Clears it out. Picked up by Lafreniere, slides it across to Patrick. Coming in against Carlisle. Patrick with a nice move. Centers, and it's blocked by Carlisle. Lafleur to the puck. Lafleur looking to make a play. Give it away to Neufeld. Neufeld comes down against Greshner. Drops to Dave Hunter. Hunter against Patrick. Toward the net. Hits the side of the net again. 1 minute to go in the first period. Wraparound try by Boschman was blocked. Patrick comes out. 1-1 the score. Pass for Lafleur. Too far. Carlisle goes for the puck. Icing called on the Rangers. 48 seconds to go in this first period. You look at the one-time Norris Trophy winner, Randy Carlisle, in 1981. He won the Norris Trophy while he was with the Pittsburgh Penguins as the top defenseman in the NHL. This is his 13th year in the NHL. His 5th full season with the Winnipeg Jets. He started with Toronto, played 2 years there, went 6 years with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then on to Winnipeg, a second-round draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1976. Randy Carlisle. 48 seconds remaining in the first period. John Davidson has gone downstairs to our studio. We'll be talking with Winnipeg Jets backup goaltender Alan Chevrier following the first period. Petit moves it. Maloney takes out Numminen, and Smale has the puck. Leach for it. He's tied up. Half a minute to go in the period. Taglianetti finds Smale. Give it away to Maloney. Smale takes it back. Smale finds a way into the Rangers zone and beats Steen. Steen for Numminen. It's blocked. Maloney comes back for it. Petit moves it up the board. Steen's got it. Bouncing puck. Smale trying to put it in front. Leach gets back to intercept. Fires up the middle. Missed Kissio. Comes all the way down. Reddick stops it with 5 seconds to go in the period. And that'll do it. 2 power play goals. The scoring in this game. Rangers scored first. Lafleur with a 7th. at 15:01 with Carlisle off for holding. And then it was Ellett at 17:42 with Maloney off for tripping. Rangers head for the locker room with the score tied 1-1 here at the Winnipeg Arena. John Davidson is standing by. I'll be talking with Alan Chevrier when we come back to the Winnipeg Arena.
You know, we got to give first place to Calgary. They're playing really well and they have a strong club. The second place is up for grabs for anyone. Any one of the 4 teams can get second place.
All right, Alan, good talking to you, and good luck, continued success. I know you've been on a pretty good run here in Winnipeg.
All right, thanks, John.
Let's go back upstairs to Sam Rosen.
Thanks, John. Thanks to Alan Chevrier. Good to see him once again. We're at the Winnipeg Arena between periods 1 and 2. Rangers and Jets are tied 1-1. When we come back to New York Rangers hockey, we'll visit. Let's take a look at the goals. Rangers score first on a power play, John.
Leach gains center ice and goes against the grain to find the open man. That's James Patrick. Now he has the puck. Everybody goes to the net. And there's Lafleur all by himself, and it bangs it into the open side. Great pass by Leach, who does not get an assist. Oh, yes, he does get an assist.
Turned it back. Here come the Winnipeg Jets to even it up.
Sandstrom can't get the puck out of the zone. Carlisle waited for it, then delays his pass across so Ellett could have some time. And with Duncan standing in front, Bob Rose did not see the shot. Eventually, it beat him, and both teams score the power play goals in the first period.
We'll be back to start the second period in just a moment. Lafleur with a 7th at 15:01 power play goal. Kissio and Patrick, the official assists. Ellett his 8th from Carlisle. Rangers with 8 shots on goal. Jets with 11. And we're set to go second period. Kissio, Maloney, and Nyland. Patrick and Greshner for the Rangers. Same lineup that started the first period. And the same for Winnipeg with Boschman centering for Duncan and Neufeld, with Newmanen and Kite on defense. Neufeld along the boards is bumped by Maloney. Nyland back to take the puck. Boschman ties up Nyland. Greshner moves it into the corner. Boschman is there to center back. Duncan trying to get into shooting position. Patrick there to intercept. The trip home for James Patrick. Last evening at his parents' house, had dinner with the family. Maloney with a block. Newmanen moves the puck up the near side. Neufeld hit by Maloney. Newmanen takes the puck, gives it away to Leach. Leach beats Leva, just missed. Duncan bangs it off the boards and out. Throws out for the puck. Round for Brian Leach, who moves it right out of the zone and finds Tony Granato. Checked by Olesen, and Brent Ashton takes it, but Leach takes it right away. 2-on-1 with Sandstrom. Ellett back. Leach moves in. Leach trying to center, and Ellett a good play. Ellett blocking the pass and wraps up Brian Leach, holding him against the boards as Leva takes the puck. Knocked away from him. Petit stops it. Sandstrom gets to it. Ashton takes it back. And around for Dale Howardchuk. Kept in by Petit, shot it wide of the net. Leach keeps it in toward the net. A bouncer kicked away. The rebound. Score! Tony Granato! A team-leading 13 goals for Tony Granato as he took advantage. Just a loose rebound.
Again, it's a slow shot going in on the goaltender, just like the Rangers' first goal. You'll see it go back to the point, and you'll see Leach just rifle a wrist shot here. And it gets through everybody, and Reddick kicks it back out into the slot. Who's there but Granato? And Reddick had no idea where the shot was going to come from because Ellett was standing there and screen pokey Reddick. Look at Ellett standing in front. Reddick can't see the puck, and Granato just slowly slid it inside the goalpost to the left of the goaltender. Sam, a slow shot from the blue line is tough for a goaltender to handle because you don't know where if it's going to be deflected, if it's going to be redirected or what, and Reddick's had trouble.
Rangers come in again. Back come the Jets. McBain pass off the skate of Brett Ashton. Granato for Sandstrom. Sandstrom takes it, leaves it for Okrodnik. Trying to get a shot off. He was tied up by Ellett. Here comes Granato for the puck again. Toward the net. Sticked aside by Reddick. And Ellett moves the puck out. Tony Granato, who leads the Rangers in goal scoring, gets his 13th goal of the season. Leach and Petit the assists at 140. Brian Leach now the team leader in points as he picks up his 25th point of the season, and this is 25th game. So 2 rookies, outstanding contributions to the Rangers play this season, Tony Granato and Brian Leach. LaFleur blocking the pass but couldn't find the puck. Hawerchuk keeps it in. Hawerchuk against McIver, who taps it away. Good play. Lafreniere, nice pass to Mullen. And on to LaFleur. He shoots. Saved by Reddick. Good shot by LaFleur. Drew some ooze from the crowd.
Looks like LaFleur is trying to shoot the puck a little more than what he was doing about 2 weeks ago.
A little over 3 minutes gone by. Second period. Rangers have the lead for the second time. 2-1. McIver along the boards, moves it to Mullen. Mullen slides it to LaFleur. LaFleur comes in and shoots, and it's blocked by Carlisle. Back to the right, John. Taglianetti moves it. This is Doug Smale. Smale against Lafreniere. Now the shot saved by Froese. Froese has been in good position throughout the game.
And he's kept his balance after the original shot. That save he just made on Smale, Bob Froese never moved. He kept his balance really, really well.
Shaw and Elenick for the puck. Now Thomas Steen centers back for Smale. McIver with an alert play. Got the stick on it. LaFleur races for it. He's in. LaFleur tripped up. Penalty call.
Could be a penalty shot.
Let's see. Bill McCreary makes the call.
Yes.
Penalty shot for the Rangers.
LaFleur is at the very end of a long shift, as was Carlisle. Carlisle now saying he got the shot on goal. It shouldn't be a penalty shot. This will be the fourth penalty shot in the National League this season. All three previous to this one, the goaltenders have made the save. Van Beesbrook made a save. Watch the puck come through the middle here. LaFleur at the end of his shift. And credit his good conditioning for him to be able to outrace Carlisle. And here you see Carlisle knock down LaFleur. Good second effort, just an attempt to get a shot away. Taglianetti hooked him. He never did get it away. There's been 3 penalty shots, Sam. Preacher was stopped by Beaupre when Beaupre was playing for Minnesota. Bork was stopped by Van Beesbrook, and Cicerelli was stopped by Bester of Toronto.
16:05 remaining in the second period. One of the all-time great scorers in the National Hockey League. Trying to catch his breath here.
That's exactly right. He's tired. I bet you he tries to shoot it high to the catching glove side.
Okay.
Maybe not. I lose a lot of bets.
Here we go. LaFleur against Reddick. Save. Reddick. He went between the legs.
Well, Reddick was out so far that LaFleur couldn't shoot it high on the glove side. So he went in and he tried to get Reddick to open up, and Reddick moved back beautifully with LaFleur as LaFleur came in. LaFleur had intentions of shooting because he slows down. You'll see him slow down and glide right here. Now Reddick moves back with him. LaFleur makes a move, tried to put it through the legs. Reddick kept his goal stick there. Pretty good save. Goaltenders 4 for 4 this year as far as penalty shots go.
Those goalies doing pretty well on those shootouts, huh? LaFleur a little upset.
LaFleur, he went to his left side. You'll see him pick the puck up. Now he cuts to his left. That means he wants to go high on the catching glove side. Reddick's way outside of the goal crease. Beautiful job by the Winnipeg goaltender to stay with Guy Lafleur.
Rangers send on Kissio, Nyland, and Maloney. Patrick with a shot. Stick save by Reddick. Kissio winning the draw, and the Rangers a good chance. Neufeld fires it in. Rangers leading 2-1. A little over 4 minutes gone. Second period. Teppo Numminen with a shot. Deflected up over the top into the crowd. And play is stopped with 15:50 to go in the second. The Rangers leading 2-1. With an important save on the penalty shot. Now watch LaFleur. Watch the follow-up after the save.
If he scores on the rebound, it's no goal. Well, that puck went off his skate back towards Reddick. That would not have counted.
You get one chance and one chance only. No rebounds here in this game. Boschman, a real good face-off man against Kissio. Boschman wins. Numminen shoots. It hit the linesman, Shane Heyer.
The Rangers lost 4 out of 5 faceoffs in that first period in their own zone. This is the third game in a row the Rangers are going against real good centermen on the draws. The Islanders are very good, yet the Rangers won both games. Winnipeg is also strong.
Good checking along the boards by the Jets. Keeps it in. Boschman shot blocked by Patrick. Jim Kite from the point. Wrist shot blocked. Patrick moves it up the boards. Nyland there. Leaves it for Patrick. Kissio takes it. Nice move. Maloney wheels away from Numminen. Back pass to Leach. He's got room to shoot. Wide. Nyland goes for the puck. Numminen on him. Maloney comes in along with Boschman. Maloney keeps it alive. Feeds Kissio. Moves out in front. Maloney shoots. Save made. The rebound. Scramble is on. The shot by Nyland just wide. Petit keeps it in. Good pressure by the Rangers, but just missed the net a couple of times. Petit stops it at the line. Nilmanen back for the puck. Ian Duncan lifts it into the Ranger zone. And Michel Petit back to play it. Leach. Renato, Sandstrom, and Leva on. Nice pass to Sandstrom for the shot. Saved by Reddick. Rebound wide by Sandstrom. Renato is taken down but keeps the puck alive along the boards. Leach keeps it in. Howardchuk pokes it out of the zone. Brad Jones coming down with Petit back. Howardchuk down the left side. Jones leads him. Missed. Leva stayed with Howardchuk well. Dave Hunter's shot is blocked. Sandstrom lost his stick, and Leva comes out, being hooked by Hunter. He leaves it for Granato. Taken away by Olesen. Shaw sends it back in. 6 minutes gone. Second period, Rangers leading 2-1.
That last Rangers scoring chance was a shot by Sandstrom. Leach was the man that made the pass, and Sam Leach's passing in this game has been exceptional.
McIver moving in, looking toward the net. McIver for Lafreniere, and it was blocked by Olesen. Lafreniere against Olesen. Ellis takes the puck. Tapped out by Brad Jones to Dale Howardchuk as Dan Maloney has started to move his lines around. Jones, a fourth-line center, playing left wing with Howardchuk and Hunter.
Howardchuk getting double shifted is what he's doing to try and get something going offensively.
Lafreniere keeps it in. His shot blocked from behind by Jones, and Ellett steered it aside. Mullen on Ellett with a good check, and Howardchuk plays it behind the net for Olesen. Frederick Olesen gives it away to Brian Mullen. Mullen feeds Lafreniere, 2-on-1. The shot saved. Lafleur scores! Guy Lafleur with his second goal of the game. He was stopped on a penalty shot, but not on the rebound. It's 3-1 Rangers.
The defenseman Olesen has had a tough, very tough 2 weeks. Some personal problems, has not been able to play, and he looks like the rustiness is showing here. Watch his pass. A blind pass up the middle, and there's Mullen. Boom, he intercepts, waits till everybody gets onside, then takes the puck in and moves it. Lafleur now is in on a 2-on-1. Another rebound right in front from Reddick, and Lafleur this time casually went around Reddick. 3 goals by the Rangers, all rebounds from Pokey Reddick out in front, and Lafleur puts the Rangers up 3-1.
Now, John, is that Reddick's fault for leaving rebounds that far out? Can he dent in the shot, or is it the defense fault for not knowing that the rebounds are there? No sending chain.
That tells you what the coaches for Winnipeg think. Chevrier in as Reddick has given up some rebounds right up in front, right into the slot. All 3 Ranger goals, as I mentioned. This time Lafreniere made a great pass and set up the play from Mullen. Guy Lafleur finished it. The Rangers are up 3-1.
So Reddick stops the penalty shot, but no lift for his team and no credit from the coach because he's out of the game.
He left a rebound on the penalty shot. That's awful.
Taglianetti gets to the puck. 3-1 Rangers. Steen blocked by Kissio. Some good forechecking by the Rangers here in the second period. Taglianetti blocked by Maloney. Elenick goes for the puck, and Nyland's on him. Good work. Taglianetti ties up Maloney. Elenick and Nyland battling along the boards. Maloney keeps it alive as he battles Taglianetti. Look at Maloney. Keeps working the boards. Puck is still alive. Taglianetti holding Maloney. Maloney double teamed and kicks it free, but finally Carlisle takes it. 12:20 to go. Second period. 3-1 Rangers. Lafleur with his second of the game, 8th of the season from Lafreniere and Mullen. And the
Rangers are forechecking so smart. Maloney and Nyland were just in the corner working. Kissio stayed back. Winnipeg got the puck out finally, moved up the ice. But with Kissio back, it was a 3-on-3. Rangers playing.
Hi, I'm John Van Beesbrook of the New York Rangers. You're watching MSG. Look to us for greatness.
Alan Chevrier goes into the nets. He had won 4 in a row before losing at Detroit 6-3 last week. And he replaces Pokey Reddick at the 6:49 mark of the second period. Leach on the move. Sandstrom on the right as Leach sends it in off the boards. Knocked away by Chevrier. Good play. Duncan plays it to Kite. Ogrodnik takes it. Ogrodnik, Lawton, and Sandstrom on. Lawton takes a hit from Duncan. Sandstrom has the puck. Numminen with Lawton on him. Lawton comes out in front. Kite tries to clear. Ogrodnik has the puck. Left it behind him. And out come the Jets. Boschman beats Neufeld. Neufeld couldn't beat Petit. Boschman takes the puck. Centers all the way through. Sandstrom goes for it.
Again, Winnipeg starting to send some defensemen into the play. That time Newman enjoyed the play, but Ogrodnik picked him up, and it was another 3-on-3.
Ogrodnik open for the shot. Saved by Chevrier. Holds it in the midsection. Whistle stops play. Rangers have 10 shots on goal here in the second period to 1 for Winnipeg.
And the thing is, as you look at Pokey Reddick in the background there, by the way, that's 2 of 3 penalty shots that he has stopped throughout his career. But this is the play that cost him the rest of the playing time in this game. Lafreniere's shot, and there's a big rebound. Guy Lafleur was not picked up. Lafleur is so smart, staying away from the puck, moving to the opposite side of the ice, picking up rebounds. His last 3 goals have been very similar plays.
And the Rangers continue to get contributions from Jason Lafreniere, who's played well. Brian Mullen is on a great streak right now, 12 points in the last 8 games. Jets are offside coming in as Fenton stick handle at the line. Howardchuk in too soon. Paul Fenton, one-time New York Ranger, one-time Hartford Whaler, and coming over to the Winnipeg Jets in a trade last week with the LA Kings.
Joe Hamel. Now Hamel, as far as the depth chart goes, was in the minors and not expected to be called up to play here in Winnipeg. And the Jets felt that Fenton would maybe fit in better. He can fill in, Sam. He can play left wing, he can play right wing, he can penalty kill, he can play on the power play. So he'll be an addition that'll sort of be a person that can fix the parts when the parts have problems.
Kept in by Ellett, but gave it away to Kissio. McBain moves it. Howardchuk. Fenton going for the puck, but Kissio there first. 10:50 to go, second period. Rangers with 2 goals here in the second, leading 3-1. Fenton into the corner. Howardchuk checked by Greshner. Throws, plays it, blocked by Howardchuk. He's got a scoring chance. Wide. Patrick checked him. The shot just went wide. Kissio takes the puck. Bangs it off the boards and out. Olsen back for it. Rangers changing. Dave Ellett leads Andrew McBain and on to Fenton. Good hit by Petit. McBain takes the puck. Ellett's in deep, but McIver took it away. Good play by Norm McIver. Olsen keeps it in. Around the boards, McIver lost his helmet. He was wrestled off his head. Mullen is bumped, but works his way out. Lafleur was hanging at the red line. Chevrier bans on it, then finally moves it. It's taken by Lafreniere. Save. Chevrier rebound wide by Lafleur. Mullen with a chance. Around the boards. Ellett there to intercept. Petit stops it. Kept it in at the line. Ellett behind the net with a puck. And Mullen forechecking him.
Watch the board work. The Rangers have controlled the boards here.
Long shot by McBain, stopped by Froese. The rebound, Petit with a hustling play. Petit did not have a good first period. He's had a much better second period. Off the corner boards. Elenick tied up by Lafleur. Carlisle takes the puck for Winnipeg. Moves down with Steen and Smale and plays it around. Froese got a stick on it. Leach moves it. Checked by Steen. Patrick checked by Steen. Granato takes the puck. Good hit on Sandstrom. Elenick takes the puck away. Taglianetti with a good check. Smale coming in. Smale with a shot saved by Froese.
Big check by Taglianetti on Sandstrom. Set up that play. Winnipeg's defensemen pinching a lot now as they trail by 2 goals. You'll see them as the Rangers work the boards. The defensemen will move in.
Here come the Rangers again. Granato feeds Sandstrom and on to Lafleur. Good passing. 4-on-2 across the line. Drop for Patrick. He shoots wide. All the way around. Elenick taps it out. Steen coming down. Greshner is back. 2-on-1 across. Drop for Elenick. Saved by Froese. He covers. Good goaltending on both sides. Good scoring chances. 8:36 to go in the second. Rangers.
When I talk about defensemen pinching, this is what I mean. Taglianetti moves in, creates a turnover with a big check. Now Smale will end up getting a chance here because Sandstrom can't get to his loose stick. Look at Smale move across. around Sandstrom, goes to his forehand, and Bob Froese has stayed up on his feet. And he has been in total control of his body movements in this game.
He's been very good. That shot going wide. 15 shots for Winnipeg, 20 for the Rangers. Here in the second period, Rangers out shooting the Jets 12-4. Battle along the boards. Lawton and Shaw there for the Rangers. Neufeld and Boschman for Winnipeg. Neufeld trying to play the puck. Shaw tying him up. Neufeld still with it. Good work by Neufeld. Centers the shot going wide, hitting the side of the net. Ashton getting the shot off. Breshner avoids the check of Neufeld. Ashton keeps it in. Shaw moves the puck near side. Good pressure here by the Jets. Working the boards well. Boschman with a center. Neufeld shot going wide. Kicked out in front. Comes through to Jim Kite. He shoots. And it's wide of the net. Shaw slow getting up. He was knocked down side of the net. Leba moves the puck to Lawton. Rangers can't clear. Kite sending it in front. Now Froese stops it and covers up.
Best shift of the game for Winnipeg's men along the boards, and that created some scoring chances for them.
7:44 to go, second period, with the Rangers leading 3-1. Here's great gift news for Knicks fans, introducing the Knicks Mini Plan. Now you can see 9 home games during the second half of the season and get purchase rights to Knicks playoff tickets. All this and more with the Knicks new Mini Plan. Call 212-586-6868 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. to order your tickets today, tonight. Well, you can't do it today. Wait till tomorrow morning.
Talked about this shift where the Jets started banging some people. David Shaw is in front, and Boschman goes in high with his stick up high and knocked David Shaw down. The Jets have really changed their lines around. Now they get their fourth line on the ice, but that last line with Neufeld and with Boschman and with Ashton, 3 of the bigger players. And you can see how it works with bigger players. You can develop strong plays along the boards.
Kissio checked by Brad Jones and clears the puck. Race for the puck. Maloney going after it, and Olsen. Maloney gets there. Olsen taps it away to Ellett. Ellett fires out for Brad Jones, who can't handle it. Blocked by Leach. And Maloney takes it back. Now Nyland coming forward with Kissio. Nyland dropped to Petit. He's checked by Dave Hunter. Petit moves the puck in front. Ellett there to take it back for Winnipeg. Sends out Brad Jones. Tapped away nicely by Kissio, but here comes Ellett. Across the line. Taken away by Leach. Rangers turn quickly. 3-on-1 across the line. Kissio takes it in. Kissio shot wide on the backhand. Olsen takes it back. And Kissio was pulled down. Penalty called on the Jets. Bad penalty taken by Brad Jones as he tripped up Kelly Kissio. 7:01 to go in the second.
Memories are made on Madison Square Garden Network. Look to us for greatness.
Here was a big chance.
Ryan Leach, again, headmans the puck like he should. Nyland is coming in from behind. It's actually a 3-on-1, but watch the defenseman move across to Leach, so Kissio moves in. He gets the puck on his backhand, shoots it wide. Brad Jones will pick up Kissio behind the net, and as the Jets are going out of the zone, he just up and trips Kissio. And the Rangers go on the power play. Rangers last year set a record with 111 power play goals. The Jets had 110 right behind the Rangers, so you know that both these power plays could explode.
Jones for tripping at 12:59. Rangers' second power play of the game. They're 1-for-1. Lafleur getting the power play goal. Froese plays it. Leach and Patrick, Lafleur, Lafreniere, and Mullen on for the Rangers power play. Steen chasing Leach. Leach moving in against Taglianetti. Goes down, plays it behind the net. Newman will clear all the way down. Patrick behind the net with Doug Smale forechecking. Smale and Steen, Taglianetti and Newman on for Winnipeg. Patrick. Lead for Mullen. Now Lafleur coming down. Back pass, but given away to Smale. Steen, slowed down by Patrick. And the Rangers take it back.
It almost looked like Smale was ready for the Lafleur drop pass. Lafleur drops the puck back a lot when on the power play. It almost looks like Winnipeg had scouted the Rangers power play and was ready for it.
Lafreniere forces his way into the zone, but gives the puck away to Dave Ellett. 1 minute to go on the Rangers power play. Dave Hunter comes in against 3 Rangers, taken out of the play, and Lafleur takes the puck. Now Petit, joined by McIver. Sandstrom is on for the Rangers, along with Lafreniere and Leba. Petit looking toward the net, beats Leba. Now Petit Side of the net for Lafreniere, poked away by Chevrier. And cleared out by Olsen. McIver takes the puck off the stick of Rose, finds Petit with 30 seconds to go on the power play. Igor Liba into the zone, drops it to Sandstrom. Now Lawton, cross ice McIver with a shot. Saved by Chevrier, rebound Lawton. Try to bank it in off somebody in front. Lawton still got it. Lawton feeds Liba toward the net. Loose puck in the crease. The scramble on. The whistle blows. McCreary may have lost sight of it. It was still loose in the crease with the scramble going on. McCreary blows the whistle with 9 seconds to go on the power play. Lawton with some heady play.
Yes, and Lawton got to the front of the net looking for the rebound, but it was Sandstrom causing the havoc. And Sandstrom has scored goals in recent games right around the goal crease. Look at Sandstrom. He's being pushed from behind. Lawton finds the open man. That's Liba, excuse me. A good shot on goal. But look at Sandstrom in there looking for the rebound. Olsen had some trouble with him. Finally dragged him down. And McCreary, you're absolutely right, Sam, did lose sight of that. You know, the Rangers, in their games this season, going into this game, 13 times they've had more power plays in a game than the opposition. 7 times both teams have had the same amount of power plays in a game, and only 4 times has the other team had more power plays than the Rangers. That tells you a lot of stories. The Rangers are playing smart hockey and making the other team take penalties with hard work.
Working for it.
Absolutely.
Right. Kissio, Nyland, Maloney, Greshner, and Patrick on for the Rangers. Taglianetti drives it around. That ends it for the power play. As Brad Jones returns right now. Teams with full strength. Rangers are 1 for 2 on the power play. They had no shots on goal during that power play. 4:50 to go. Second period. Rangers leading 3-1. Patrick takes the pass. Forechecking is Ashton. Carlisle keeps it in nicely. Centering pass. Neufeld was tied up. Rose plays it. Neufeld with a shot deflected up into the crowd. Play stopped with 4:38 to go in the second. Rangers with a 2-goal lead. Sam Rosen and John Davidson here at the Winnipeg Arena following the second period and Ask Espo segment. Bruce Beck and the Rangers general manager, Phil Esposito.
This line had a good shift the last time they were on the ice for Winnipeg. Ashton, Boschman, and Neufeld. Remember, they were banging along the boards.
McIver with a nice move. He's playing with a lot of confidence. Sends it in. McIver 6 points in his last 6 games. Kissio knocked down hard into the side of the net. Slow getting up.
He had that muscle pull on the top side of his back, and that's the part that just hit the goalpost.
That puck on goal. Froze smothers it with a glove, and Neufeld is knocked down. Deli Kissio in some pain. Look at Ray Neufeld skating away after he was knocked down. Kissio in pain. He's got the back problem. He missed a couple of games with the back spasms.
He's played well in this game. He had a very strong first period, but you'll see him get the loose puck here, go to the net. He tries to stop, and he's being knocked down at the same time by Ashton, and he just banged right into the goalpost. We'll have to watch Kissio to see if he's all right. David Smith is on the bench now talking to him. You see him there bang into the goalpost very, very heavily.
Ulf Dahlen is out of the lineup tonight. Second game he's missed with a shoulder problem, but it's a lot better. He thought about playing tonight and went out for the pregame skate. He will be back in the lineup on Thursday night. Back to the point. Olsen, long drive, blocked in front, taken by Granato. Whistle stops play. Penalty call.
Lawton will get the penalty. He stayed with Howard-Chuck, the centerman. Howard-Chuck won the faceoff. Lawton takes the penalty.
Lawton for holding at 15:51. The Jets on their third power play. They're 1 for 2.
Second time the Rangers have taken a penalty because they've lost a draw in their own zone. Granato did in the first period. There's Lawton staying with Howard-Chuck and dragging him down. Face-offs are so important because so many things can happen. Lawton lost a draw, did the thing he had to do, and that was to stay with Howard-Chuck, but he dragged him down, and this power play has been good in this game.
Howard-Chuck with McBain and Duncan, Ellett and Carlisle. Jets had 3 power play goals in the last game against St. Louis. That kept them in the game. 4-4 tie. Howard-Chuck with a nice move. Toward the net, Duncan. McBain's got the puck now. Howard-Chuck checked by Granato. Howard-Chuck toward the net. Behind the net. Ellett at the point. Now Carlisle. McBain can't handle the pass. Kept in by Carlisle. Duncan He's checked by Patrick. Patrick, Greshner, Mullen, and Granato on for the Rangers. Kept in by Ellett. Good play. Bouncing puck. Here comes Hawerchuk. He shot it wide. Big chance. As the bouncing puck bounced in favor of the Jets. McBain to Duncan. Tried to feed Hawerchuk, but Patrick stopped him. So did Greshner. Mullen able to clear.
Sam, that play, that loose puck that bounced, Hawerchuk touched it with the blade of his stick. That's a good play to be able to do it with a bouncing puck and then just miss the net.
Great hands. Granato and Maloney on. Granato takes it in against Carlisle. Granato went down. He was touched by Hawerchuk, tried to draw the penalty and couldn't do it. Ellett tied up by Maloney. Good play. Now Ellett gets into the Ranger zone and shoots it, blocked by Petit. Duncan tied up by Maloney. Leach banks it off the boards and out of the zone. 22 seconds to go on the power play for the Jets. 2.5 minutes to go, second period. 3-1, Rangers leading it. Rose stops it for Petit. Around the glass, it hit Steen. Rangers try to force it out. They do. Carlisle takes it in offside with 11 seconds to go in the penalty to Brian Lawton.
There's Hawerchuk. We talked about how he was able to get that loose puck and go in on Bob Froese. The Jets want more goals from Hawerchuk's line at even strength. We all know how good that Hawerchuk is when he leads the Winnipeg Jets on the power play. But Maloney wants more on the even strength type play. Here we see the puck. You'll watch it bounce. It's caused by Hawerchuk. Watch him take the puck there, put it past Patrick. Froese forced Hawerchuk to shoot it prematurely, and the puck went wide. The Rangers kill this off. There's 11 seconds left. It'll be a good kill for the reason that with just 2 minutes left in the period, if the Rangers finish the period up 3-1, Sam, the Jets may have to change their style for the third, be much more assertive. If the Jets would have scored on the power play, it becomes a one-goal game, and Winnipeg can play, take it easy and not try and force things.
Boschman winds it around the boards. Teams are back at full strength. Boschman with Ashton in front. Nice steal by Lawton. Almost pulled down by Boschman. He was. Penalty called. McCreary called it. Lawton was having trouble because Boschman had the stick in the midsection. Lawton was off balance, and they called a penalty.
We'll see as the puck is along the boards and in the corner. Boschman gets there first. Greshner with a big body check. Now you'll see the Rangers, as we mentioned, they've done extremely well along the boards. Now Boschman gets the puck back, and there's Lawton stripping the puck from Boschman on the pass, and you see the hook.
Boschman for hooking in 1806. Rangers go on their third power play. They're 1 for 2. Jets had no shots on goal during their last power play. They're now 1 for 3 in the game. And the Rangers send out Kissio with Lafleur and Mullen, Patrick and Leach for the power play.
Lafleur playing right wing. Now on the power play, when the Rangers set up, if they do, watch Lafleur. He'll move over to the opposite side of the ice, to the left side, so he can get that better angled shot by being a right-handed shot playing the left side.
Here comes Lafleur down the left side, feeding Kissio. Smale breaks it up, and a quick turn by Thomas Steen. Mullen slapping at him with a stick. Steen moving around. Leach saved by Froese. Good speed by Thomas Steen. Smale takes it away. Now Leach gets it back, and the Rangers move. Leach fans lost it. Here's Smale with a chance. He scores. Short-handed goal as Leach had all kinds of trouble with Thomas Steen and finally lost the puck. It's 3-2.
Well, the Rangers had things the way they wanted it. A power play late in the second period with a 2-goal lead. And this is the first shorthanded goal on home ice for Winnipeg this season. Leach was being harassed by Smale. Steen was there. Smale picked up the puck and beat Bob Froese. Smale worked Leach first, and Leach did fan on the puck, and then Steen was there to help create the turnover. Smale picked up the loose puck, and that's the third shorthanded goal of the season for Winnipeg. As I mentioned, the first on home ice.
Doug Smale, 6th goal of the season, cuts the Rangers lead to 1. It's 3-2. Rangers still on the power play. 1:15 to go in the second period. McIver brings it across. Sandstrom, Lawton, and Granato up front. McIver and Petit at the points. Carlisle drives it around the boards. Petit gets there to stop it. Granato. Now Lawton. Granato back behind the net. Sandstrom's got it. Carlisle and Lawton after the puck. Sandstrom trying to take it. Kept in by McIver to Granato. Lawton goes in front. Chevrier out. Checked there by Sandstrom. They battle. Carlisle goes high into Sandstrom. And McBain out with the puck. Stirring it all the way down with 35 seconds to go in the second period. McIver turns. Steen forechecking. 25 seconds to go in the period. Lawton gets the pass. All the way across for Petit. Takes it off the boards. Drops it back. Here comes Granato for Lawton. Just off his stick. Hit the heel of his stick and went wide of the net. Good passing play by the Rangers. 10 seconds to go in the period. Smale comes in. Smale to Elliott. He scores! Two shorthanded goals on the same power play by the Jets have tied it 3-3.
The Jets get a break here, Sam. They had the puck and they were moving it out of their zone and it hits the linesman. But the puck went right back to the Winnipeg Jets. Watch here as it's being dumped out. It hits the linesman there. Now it goes back and Winnipeg develop a 2-on-1. McIver's back. And what a great pass across. And Elliott, boom! Open side. Winnipeg joined the play and their confidence level moving up quickly. Two shorthanded goals. That's 8 the Rangers have been beaten for this year. And that's a high number.
2 goals in the game for Dave Elliott. Smale and Elliott with shorthanded goals in the final seconds of the second period. And that ends it for the second period. What a turnaround. The Rangers led 3-1. We're on a power play, and the Jets scored shorthanded goals. Smale at 18:37 from Steen. Elliott at 19:54, a minute 17 seconds later from Smale. And the Rangers head for the locker room. They have to be down. It's 3-3. We'll come back with Ask Espo in just a moment. On the end of the first period, now we're tied to 3-3, end of 2 here at the Winnipeg Arena. Well, throughout the season, we like to check in on the general manager with your questions. Right now, it's time for another segment of Ask Espo.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ask Espo. I'm Bruce Beck. Along with me, General Manager Phil Esposito. We've got a tough couple of questions for you. You ready for them?
Let's go, Bruce.
All right, here's question number 1. We want to remind you that Ask Espo is brought to you by Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. Here's the question, Phil. Since the ice surface at MSG is a different size than the practice rink at Rye, it must be difficult to prepare for games. How can MSG be a home ice advantage when the Rangers don't practice there? Joe Schreiber, Westfield, New Jersey.
You know, that is an excellent question, Joe, because I was just thinking back when in 1975 when I got traded here, I was like shocked that we never practiced at Madison Square Garden. In Boston, we practiced there almost every day. But we got to remember, Madison Square Garden is probably the busiest arena in the world. I mean, they've got everything here. If it isn't tennis, it's basketball, and if it isn't basketball, it's a horse show, dog show, whatever. I mean, everything. So it's very difficult for us. Rye is about 10 feet narrower than the Garden, but I think lengthwise it's about the same. So lengthwise it doesn't bother us, but narrow, it does bother us that. But what we've done to try to rectify this is day of a game now, we bring the guys in. When we play a home game, we bring the guys into the city around 10:30, 11 o'clock. We let them skate here, at least to get a feel for the Garden. And that doesn't always work all the time, too, because there's events sometime going on here, and we're not allowed to do that. So we just try to make the best of it. But it is a difficult situation, but this is New York.
And getting here early also takes some pressure off the commute at 4 or 5 o'clock when you have to report for the game. Here's question number 2 for Espo. Phil, I've heard that Nick Fatiou caused some trouble by pulling some practical jokes on his roommates. What was Nicky's best one? From Peggy Mastroli of Edison, New Jersey. You've got to be pretty quick on this response.
I'll tell you, I think his best one of all time was in Toronto. Nick and I were out for dinner, and we came back, and he was rooming with Bill Goldsworthy. And as we came into the hotel, there was a big lobster thing there with live lobsters in this trap, like water and all this, like you see in the airports. And Nicky, I don't know, for someone, like he hunts lobsters in the summertime, right? He put his hand in there and grabbed the lobster. We went up to the room, and Bill Goldsby was laying there like this. He was like out cold, right? And his chest was showing, and the blankets were down to his waist. And Nicky put the lobster on his chest. And all of a sudden, Goldsworthy went, and he screamed and he started running. He chased Nicky and I'll tell you, we laughed at that. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. That's just one of many things that Nicky Fotiu did. He was really a practical joker. And there was another time with the shaving cream on the plane.
Well, we got to run. That lobster story was a good one. It's enough. We'll keep it. Thanks, Phil. And don't forget, keep those cards and letters coming. Send them to Ask Espo, care of Madison Square Garden Network, 4 Penn Plaza, New York, 10001. More New York Rangers hockey coming up in a moment.
Before you buy any sports sedan, you should know that Galant GS has a 16-valve double overhead cam engine. Honda doesn't. Galant GS has an electronically controlled suspension and offers anti-lock braking. Scratch Honda. Plus, Galant GS costs hundreds less than Accord LXI. No wonder Car and Driver says, watch out, Honda. And when you see the deals your dealer's writing, you'll know why Mitsubishi is suddenly the obvious choice.
It's out there. It's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Rangers had chances to break this one wide open. They had a penalty shot. They had a power play. They were up 3-1. Now it's 3-3. There's a lot going on in sports tonight. It's time for an update. Let's go to the MSG Sports Desk. Andrea Joyce.
All right, thanks, Sam. Welcome back to Sports Desk, everyone. The Islanders went to Detroit with the worst road record in the NHL, and it's not getting any better. They lose to the Red Wings tonight, 5-3. We pick up the action in the second period. It was 2-1 Detroit. Steve Yzerman on the breakaway beats Billy Smith for his second goal of the night, his 25th of the season, and Detroit wins 5-3. The Washington Capitals have been hot lately. Tonight against St. Louis, it was tied 3-3 in the third when Jeff Portnoy passed out front to John Druce, who slaps the puck in past Greg Millen. Caps win another one, 4-3. Taking a look at the NHL scoreboard, there you see the Caps 4-3 win. The Flyers beat the Bruins 5-1. Chicago trails Minnesota by a goal, and Vancouver takes an early lead over the Flames. Still to come, we will take a look at how the Knicks are doing tonight out in Denver when we come back.
Sports Desk is brought to you by the Hertz Corporation.
Over the past 8 years, 15,000 car renters were asked who's the best for clean, dependable cars. In every survey, Hertz came out on top.
Modesty forbids me from taking all the credit.
They were asked who's the best in providing...
Welcome back to the Winnipeg Arena. We're moments away from the start of the third period, and a very important period for the Rangers because they've blown a 2-goal lead. They had control of the game early in the second period when Guy Lafleur scored his second goal of the game.
This is the third goal for the Rangers. This is what a turnover can do. Mullen waits at the blue line. Olison's pass, not a good one. The turnover's created. The Rangers go from defense to offense, and Lafleur, with his 8th of the year, his 2nd of the evening, finishes the play.
But the game turns around in the final 2 minutes of the second period.
Watch Smale and Steen go to work here. Penalty killers doing their job, and you'll watch the two of them inside working with quickness. Leach will get the puck here, but he'll be hooked from behind by Smale. Steen is there, finds Smale with the pass, and Smale moves in and scores. Two penalty killers working together on 4 Rangers. Boy, do they get the job done.
2 shorthanded goals for the Winnipeg Jets, and the game is tied. We'll be back for the third period in just a moment. Rangers the early lead in the second period with his 13th goal of the season. Then Lafleur made it 3-1 after he had been stopped on a penalty shot. Pokey Reddick taken out, but then the 2 shorthanded goals. Smale at 18:33, and then Dave Ellett at 19:54. And that tied it. Shots on goal. Rangers 14, total 22. Winnipeg 9, total 11. Underway, start of the third period. Kissio, Maloney, and Nyland. Patrick and Greshner. Kissio sends it in. Taglianetti back for it. Leaves it there. Kissio, checked by Carlisle. Boschman, Ashton, Neufeld, Taglianetti, and Carlisle for Winnipeg. Chance for Kissio. Stopped by Chevrier. Chevrier has faced 5 shots since coming on, replacing Pokey Reddick, and he stopped them all.
Kissio will stay deep as Winnipeg thinks the puck is going to be out of their zone. Look at what Kissio just stay and wait back, just in case there's a turnover. Sure enough, there is. Maloney finds him wide open, and Kissio had to rush the shot as the defensemen were getting back into the play. That was Taglianetti that ran Kissio over. Kissio, by the way, injured himself in the second period as he ran into the goalpost, but appears to be all right. Chevrier with a very strong save to start the third period.
Tonight's game is sponsored in part by today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. Granato, Liba, Sandstrom, Petit, and Leach. Toward the net, sticked aside by Chevrier. The Rangers, who had been coming from behind over the weekend twice to beat the Islanders, tonight have given up leads. Led 1-0 and 3-1. Ashton tied up by Petit. Liba takes the puck. Carlisle keeps it in. Centers for Boschman. Broken up by Leach, then taken back by Ashton. Trying to feed Neufeld. Just missed. Neufeld again. Winds it to Ashton. Ashton checked by Granato. Centers for Neufeld. He shoots wide. Sandstrom tips it out of the zone.
This may have been Winnipeg's best line since the line changes were made. Ashton, Neufeld, and Boschman really have gotten it going for Winnipeg.
Petit moves it up the boards for Liba, but Elenick stops him. Boschman lost his stick. Petit checks him. Liba going for the puck. May have hit.
He did.
Boschman in the face with a stick, and it's a penalty.
And it's interesting because Boschman didn't have a stick, and he was bent over. And his face was way down by his waist. That's how low he was. And Liba just swung his stick, I believe, going at the puck and caught Boschman in the face. And you know it's accidental. Watch Boschman here. He doesn't have a stick. He's hit. Now see if he bends down here. He kicks it ahead, bends forward. He's picking up a stick when Liba or Petit make that. I'm not sure. It might even have been Elenick. That was 34 that got him, Sam. That was Elenick. And Elenick reached back with his stick and caught Boschman with a backhand. I knew Boschman had bent over, so it wasn't an errant high stick. It wasn't something done on purpose. And Boschman caught up in the face with that blade.
The Rangers are going to be penalized. Liba is going off. I did think it was Liba. He swung at the puck.
I did too at first,
and
but that replay showed that it was Elenick, and Boschman had bent over at the waist. I mean, his face was about 4 feet off the ice surface.
Liba is gone. It's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct.
Boy, oh boy. This rule.
Let's see.
You watch Boschman kick the puck ahead. Now watch him bend down. Watch 34 stick. There. That's 34 that caught him. Liba's stick is on the ice. Petit's stick is on the ice. Both blades are on the ice surface. Elenick catches him with the stick, his own man, and the Jets get a giant break here. Liba gets a 5-minute major, a game misconduct. And the Rangers,
I don't know, John. I still believe that Liba went for the puck, and I saw his stick come up first when the play originally unfolded, and I did believe that he hit Boschman with the stick. He swung at the puck.
I have 2015.
It was inadvertent.
I have 2015. Maybe I'm losing it.
Well, it would be interesting to see another angle of that, but from that angle, you're right. You're right about the way it appeared in that angle.
You know, that rule, whether it's on purpose or not, is in there to try and stop the high sticking and the errant stick work. But when a player's bent over, boy, oh boy, it's tough to avoid.
18:35 to go. The face-off, the Rangers able to control and clear all the way down. A 5-minute major assessed to Igor Liba and a game misconduct, automatic, for the high-sticking major. 1:25 the time. In comes Andrew McBain. McBain, Duncan, Howardchuk, Carlisle, and Ellett. Here's McBain. Jets are 1 for 3 on the power play. 3-3 to score. Crucial part of this game. Howardchuk deflected. McBain gets to the puck. Patrick tries to take it away. McBain still has it. Feeds Duncan. Duncan with a chance. He's ridden down by Greshner. Patrick moves it to Maloney, and he's able to clear. Carlisle back for the puck. 1 minute gone in the 5-minute major. Kissio and Mullen come on for the Rangers with Greshner and Petit. Kissio moves it. Steen takes it back. Steen across the line. Throws. Taps it to Petit. Moves it quickly. Olesen can't keep it in. Kissio racing for it. Chevrier way out. Played it right into the midsection of Numminen. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but at least he was aggressive to get out there and make the play. You have to credit Chevrier with that.
Frederick Olesen. Nice move, but he runs into his own man, Neufeld. Minute and a half gone by in the major power play. Ashton with Olesen to the net, just wide. Steen along the boards. Back pass to Numminen. Now Steen. Checked by Leach. Ashton knocked down by Petit. Steen gets to the puck. Now Neufeld. Steen out of the corner. Tipped by Mullen. Chops at it. Back pass out of the zone. 2 minutes gone in the 5-minute major.
The Howard-Chuck line will try and get back on the ice for as much as possible on this power play.
Steen along the boards. Numminen at the point to Steen. Ashton side of the net. Centers off the stick of Sandstrom. Carlisle shot is blocked. Steen goes for the puck. Granato on him. Now Leach back to Numminen. Across to Carlisle. Toward the net. Chance for Ashton. Knocked away by Froese. McBain has it slide off his stick, and it's cleared by Granato. Great chance for the Jets. And they fail to capitalize. 2:25 to go in the 5-minute major. Greshner takes the puck. Ashton all over him. Up the boards. Mullen can't clear. Carlisle's pass deflected. Granato sends it all the way down.
Greshner has been outstanding on this penalty kill for the Rangers. Simply outstanding. Winnipeg has not registered a shot to this point, and they've almost worked 3 minutes of power play time.
2 minutes to go in the major. Ellett moves in. He has 2 goals in the game. Offside, Winnipeg. 2:02 to go exactly in the major penalty. Assessed to Igor Liba. Now the Rangers have to get someone into the penalty box, and Jason Lafreniere goes over as Dan Maloney looks on. Here's Lafreniere. Liba is gone for the game.
Let's take one more look and try and figure out whose stick it is that catches the Winnipeg player, Boschman. Now, Elenick has white tape on his stick. The other players, Liba, I believe, has black tape.
See, Liba's stick had already come up.
Was up, but I don't know. I really don't know.
I do believe it was Liba.
Yeah.
He had already gotten the stick up. That was blocked.
Yeah, we
from
still can't say 100% as to who it was. I'm not making excuses. High sticks are not needed in this league, but that wasn't a high stick.
Not intentional, obviously.
Well, Boschman, when you bent over at the waist, it's tough. You're allowed to carry your stick above your knees.
He was trying to pick up the stick. That was clear. Duncan with a back pass to Carlisle. Long shot blocked by Maloney. He's trying to control it. He's got it underneath him, and the whistle stops play, and a break for the Rangers there. A minute 39 to go in the 5-minute major, and still no shots on goal for the Jets. And this could be a major turning point if the Rangers can sustain this after the huge letdown they had in the final 2 minutes of the second period.
When you kill a penalty against a team that's strong on a power play, you try and play aggressive and not allow that team to set up. Winnipeg have not been able to set up once, and the puck has been in the zone for the majority of the 3.5 minutes.
Carlisle keeps it in. Now Howard-Chuck. Leach takes it away and clears. Good play.
That's what I mean by aggressiveness, Sam. They're going at the men with the puck. Oh, there's a bad
penalty
play.
called.
Carlisle
taken down by Carlisle. Terrible penalty.
He calls it interference. This could have been a spear. He chopped at Granato, and Granato went down. The teams will play at even strength.
15:03 to go in the second. 3-3 the score. Carlisle. With a minute 28 to go in the 5-minute major, Carlisle called for interference at 4:57.
When you watch this, watch Carlisle's stick. He's lucky he did not get a spearing penalty. Granato goes around him. Look at this. Boom.
Oh,
that's with the tip of the blade of the stick into the midsection, and Carlisle is lucky he does not get 5 minutes in a game for that play. And a spearing penalty, by the way, gets you into a little trouble with the league.
So they'll skate 4 aside, and then the Rangers will wind up with a man advantage for 32 seconds. Outstanding penalty killing by the Rangers during the 5-minute major. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Jets had a man advantage and did not get a shot on goal. Kissio, Mullen, Leach, and Petit on the 4-on-4. Ellett, Olesen, Smale, and Steen for Winnipeg.
And the Rangers penalty killing turned around that game Sunday night with the Islanders, Sam.
Steen chopped that by Mullen, still has the puck. Now it's Ellett, picked up by Smale. They're weaving very well, but the pass deflected by Kissio. Good play. Steen has the puck. Mullen chasing him. Now Kissio picks him up. Olesen backtracking, bangs it off the boards. Ellett controls it. Ellett with 2 goals for the Jets. Lafleur 2 goals for the Rangers. 3-3 the score. Lafleur was stopped on a penalty shot. Dangerous pass by Olesen to Ellett. But Ellett brings it down. Now it's Smale against Leach. Leach takes him out. Good check. Petit plays the puck. Rangers will get an extra man on in 30 seconds. And they'll have a man advantage for 32 seconds. 6 minutes gone, third period, 3-3 the score. Mullen across. Kissio trailing, takes the pass, fakes, Dixie Doodles around Ellett, still has the puck, comes out in front, save made by Chevrier, and he holds on.
Chevrier standing up real well. He could have gone down when Kissio went around the net to the glove hand side of Chevrier, but he ended up going around to the stick side, and Chevrier stayed up. Watch Kissio get the puck here from Mullen and take his time. Goes right around the defenseman, moves in. Now Chevrier stays up, stays square to Kissio, makes the save. Ellett stays with Mullen in front. Chevrier held on to the puck for the stoppage in play. Chevrier's played well, very well, since he's been put into the lineup here, into the game.
Faced 7 shots, stopped them all. He came in at 6:49 of the second period after Lafleur had scored. Bob Rose
stopped 17 of 20 to this point. Not many have been rebound-type plays. The Rangers with good penalty killing, but their power play, oof. They let the Jets get going killing penalties.
Lawton, Lafleur, McIver, and Patrick on for the Rangers. Rose stops the puck. McBain is there. Rose didn't see him. McIver falls down. Checked by Dave Hunter. Rangers get an extra man on now. McIver's got the puck. McIver, Patrick, Lawton, Lafreniere, and Lafleur. McIver drives it. Taglianetti gets over. Able to clear. Past James Patrick at the right point. 10 seconds to go on the man advantage. Rangers 1 for 3 on the power play. The last time allowed 2 shorthanded goals. Patrick. McIver has to take it. Teams are back at full strength. 13 minutes to go. Third period. Tied 3-3. That puck deflected off the Winnipeg Jets bench. Guy Lafleur with a big night. 2 goals, giving him 8 on the season. 1 power play goal. And was pulled down by Randy Carlyle for a penalty shot, which Pokey Reddick stopped. So Reddick, even though he's pulled from the game, could still be a hero in this game for the Winnipeg Jets, because he stopped that penalty shot by Guy Lafleur in the second period. There's Pokey Reddick, who left the game. While we have a moment, a couple of Rangers back home. Jan Eriksson started skating yesterday, skated for 2 days, and the Rangers are hoping he might join them in Hartford when the Rangers come back east after the 4 games in Western Canada. The word not so good on Normand Rochefort. They may have to scope him later this week to check out. He's still experiencing some pain on his knee. There may be some arthroscopic surgery done. No final word on that as yet. Steen in the corner. Kept in by Kissio. Understand Lucien Debelois started his rehabilitation on his muscle injury to the arm, tore a tendon in the muscle. They expect him to be out for about 3 weeks. Scratched from the lineup tonight. There's a chance for Ashton. He fans on it, then gets knocked down by Greshner.
Greshner's knocked a lot of people down in this game.
Kissio stick handling across, sends it in. Rangers change. Marcel Dion scratched for the 3rd straight game. Peter Lavalette and Simon Wheeldon also scratched, as was Ulf Gallen. Gallen should be ready on Thursday night. Neufeld over again. Centers! Saved by Froze off Brad Jones. What a chance! Beautiful setup by Neufeld. Granato gets to the puck. Brings it across the line. Granato moves in. Granato's backhander goes wide. Great individual effort by Tony Granato. Sandstrom Pass deflects through to Leach. Sends it toward the net. It's tipped. Chevrier gets out. Sandstrom looking for it. Chevrier smothers it. And the whistle stops play. 11:27 to go. Third period. Still tied 3-3. With a tremendous save on Brad Jones.
He tried to use his stick to break the pass up, but he backed himself up in case he missed, and that was by getting his legs across. Good play by Neufeld. See the stick? He missed it, but he had his legs across, and Jones had to hurry it and just try and shuffle it in the open side. A big save with a tie game by Bob Froese.
That was the Jets' first shot on goal thus far in the third period, and we played 8.5 minutes.
And the Jets had a large amount of time on the power play.
3:32.
You're the mathematician.
McIver, long shot deflected wide by Mullen. Mullen, Lafreniere, and Lafleur on. Lafreniere working the boards. Still has it. He's checked by Howardchuk. Howardchuk taps it away. Out comes Paul Fenton with Howardchuk, who takes the puck now. Fenton heading for the net. The feed blocked by Lafleur. Taken away by Fenton to Carlisle. Plays it in to McBain. Down to Fenton. Trying to tee it up toward the net. Save made by Froese. Rangers able to clear the zone. A little over 9 minutes gone. Whistle stops play as the puck deflected off the Rangers bench. 10:56 to go here in the third period. Thursday, following MSG Sports Desk at 7:05, it's the award-winning Coca-Cola High School Sports Week here on MSG Network with Greg Gumbel, and colorful college basketball commentator Dick Vitale will be on hand to discuss his coaching days at East Rutherford High in New Jersey. I bet Dick Vitale knows Queen Elizabeth.
17 years she's been here that I know of.
This is the arena where Sal Messina was a star goaltender. He played up here at several training camps with the New York Rangers.
Broke some records, red lights.
Kissio feeding Maloney. Sal Messina, the Rangers radio broadcaster. Here's Paul Fenton across against Greshner. McBain for Howardchuk. Saved by Froese. Fenton taken down. Rangers got away with that. Greshner tripped up Fenton.
Fenton is playing left wing with Howardchuk and McBain. This is the third left winger that Howardchuk's had during this hockey game.
Jets with two good chances in the last minute. Referee Billy McCreary tied up along the boards by Howardchuk and Greshner. Jets send it in. The Jets have really been charging the last 2 minutes. Icing is called. We still have 4 players battling along the boards.
We have Maloney, Greshner, Howardchuk, and McBain. Howardchuk was in there originally, and then McBain came in to get involved. Winnipeg right now really don't want to lose McBain or Howardchuk, their 2 best scorers. As far as penalties go, you'll see them work along the boards here. This is Howardchuk on the puck. Greshner finishes the check, keeps Howardchuk away from the puck. Don Maloney's there. Now you'll see Howardchuk and Greshner stay together. Howardchuk is being held by Ron Greshner. Maloney will move in, and there's McBain coming in as they mix along the boards. We haven't seen much of that during this game. Here's the scoring chance. You'll see McBain move it in to Howardchuk, and Howardchuk didn't handle a pass cleanly, as we saw some quick action there. Howardchuk had one hand on the stick when he took the shot. We'll watch it again. Fenton finds the man open. Howardchuk is wide open. See how I had to rush it? He had one hand on the stick, couldn't get the clean shot on Froese, and then Greshner dumped Paul Fenton.
Off the face-off after the icing, Granato, Sandstrom, and Ogrodnik on. Smale one-on-one against Petit. Pulls up, waits for help. Looks, finds Ellis a trailer. Ellis takes it in. Checked by Leach. Back behind the net, Steen. Pat Ellenuk along the boards. Good hit by Petit. And blocked by Granato. Brings it out to Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik breaks wide against Olsen. Chevrier stops the puck, moves it around the boards. Steen tied up by Petit, gets free, fires across. Frederick Olsen. Leach takes it back and clears the zone. 9:25 to go, third period, tied 3-3 as Sandstrom has the puck. Poked away from him by Steen. Now Petit and Leach with Ellenuk forechecking. Granato, who has one of the Ranger goals. Offside. Rangers with 9:14 to go here in the third period. It's been a quiet game for Tomas Sandstrom.
Hi, I'm Sidney Green of the New York Knicks. You're watching MSG. Look to us for greatness.
Rangers Rangers led 1-0. Jets tied it. Rangers took a 3-1 lead. Jets tied it with 2 shorthanded goals in the last 2 minutes of the second period. That's where we stand right now.
Jets going with 4 defensemen primarily, Sam. It looks like Newman and Kite not seeing too much ice time here in the third. Winnipeg should be well rested. They haven't played since Saturday night.
Ashton sends it in. Boschman chasing, throws roaming. McIver plays it to Mullen. Mullen to Lafreniere. Lafleur is wide on the right. Lafreniere comes across the line, lost his stick. Carlisle moves the puck. Now Boschman beats Neufeld, joined by Ashton on the right side. The lead is for Ashton. He comes in. Ashton with a chance, saved by Froze. Boschman to Carlisle. He shoots it, hits the side of the net. May have hit Shaw on the backside. Put in front. The Jets thought they scored. Froze made the save. Froze made the save.
The light did not go on. McCrary was right there, and he pointed over to where the faceoff is going to be. Good speed by Ashton on the off wing. He's a left winger. He takes a pass on the right side, cuts in, and Bob Froze has made some good, solid saves here for the Rangers in the third period. The Jets, we talked about their speed. They hadn't used their speed until the end of the second period. Neufeld finds Ashton on the other side, and there's Froze with a save. The puck will go back, and David Shaw doesn't even see it, but he takes it off his rear end and made the save. The Jets then get to the loose pucks, and they will get another scoring chance right here. And the puck is clearly outside. Boschman tried to run over Froze and put the puck in. This play of Neufeld has been strong in the second half of this hockey game. That line, again, I mentioned it. Neufeld, Ashton, and Boschman, they've been pretty good.
Rangers clear the zone. Bob Froze has been pretty good here in this third period. He's been very good, and he has kept the Rangers in this game with several spectacular saves. Jets are offside going across the line. Shots, 26 for the Rangers, 25 for the Jets, who have really picked up their play since Alan Chevrier came in.
Since the goaltending change, without a doubt, that at times will pick up the bench. As I mentioned earlier in the game, Reddick is well-liked, the starting goaltender tonight for Winnipeg, well-liked by his teammates. And the team didn't play well, and Reddick didn't play very well, and when he was pulled, it sort of picked up the emotions of the Jets, and they've been better since.
Nyland couldn't find the pass. McBain for Fenton, onside. Patrick catches up to him. Nyland clears the zone. 8 minutes to go, third period, tied 3-3. Elliott with 2 goals, Smale with 1. Giveaway, Maloney's got the puck. Pass deflected, now it's Kissio. Kissio against Olesen. Nyland comes over to help out. A pick by Nyland, feed for Petit, it's off his stick. Good play. Petit after the puck knocks down Fenton, it's cleared out. And Greshner goes back for it. Howard-Chuck forechecking. Greshner heads up ice, banks it to Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik down the wing. Ogrodnik against Taglianetti. Lost control. Newman comes in. Sandstrom takes it back, tries to get out in front. Chevrier blocked it. Ogrodnik back to Granato, shoots it wide. Chevrier lost his stick. It's at the side of the net. McBain has the puck though, and the Jets get out. Fenton sends it in. Hit Leach. Picked up by Steen. Steen surrounded, gets it to Eleanor. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Steen checked by Petit. Now Granato. Falls down. Petit pokes at it. And Leach couldn't get it out of the zone. Now he does. Smale takes it back. Leach recovers. Gave it away to Steen. Steen centers. Gave it away to Granato. Granato coming down with Ogrodnik and Sandstrom. Poked away. Comes to Sandstrom. Offside Rangers. 6:39 to go. Third period. 3-3 the score. 6:39 to go here in the third period at the Winnipeg Arena. First game of a 6-game road trip for the Rangers. Lawton, Mullen, Lafleur, McIver, and Shaw for the Rangers, who will play in Calgary Thursday night. We'll have it for you right here on Madison Square Garden Network beginning at 9:30 Eastern Time. Taglianetti for Carlisle. Now Pat Eleanor and Tomas Steen. Lafleur takes it away nicely. Steen gets it back. Steen for Eleanor. He's checked by Lawton. Loose puck picked up by Smale. Smale has been buzzing all over the ice. Steen behind the net. Eleanor in front. The pass blocked and poked aside by McIver.
The Jets have been much better since they picked up the pace of their game.
puck was out of the zone, but the linesman didn't call it. Now it's cleared out. Carlisle checked by Lawton. Elenick has it. Finds Smale. Tapped away from him. Shaw clears the zone for Lafleur. He's onside. Lafleur comes in and shoots. Saved by Chevrier. The rebound loose to Lawton. Lawton on goal all the way through. Mullen was looking for a deflection in front. 5:40 to go in the third as Neufeld comes down. Comes across. Tapped away. Lafleur trying to clear. Ellen keeps it in. Shot wide. McIver up the glass. Mullen couldn't clear. Newman keeping it in. Now Lafleur gets it out of the zone. Dave Ellett has the puck. Around the boards it goes. Mullen chops at it. It's blocked by Neufeld. Loose puck in the corner. Boschman's got it. Boschman centers for Neufeld. It's knocked away by Patrick. Lafleur falls down, gets it out of the zone, feeds Patrick. One-on-one with Ellett. Patrick pulls up, waits for some help. Feed across, tapped out by Newman. Nyland has the puck. 5 minutes to go in the third period. 3-3 the score. Kissio tied up by Newman. Brent Ashton puts it in the Rangers zone.
I mentioned how Olesen had missed some games because of some problems. He's being rested here a little bit. Now Newman is filling in his spot. The coaches know that Olesen had missed those games, can't be in great shape, and with the pace picking up, Dan Maloney playing Newman in his spot once in a while. That's smart coaching.
Islanders have lost 5 in a row. Steve Yzerman, 2 goals in the game. Gerard Gallant, a goal and 3 assists. Philadelphia, 2 goals for Rick Tocchet. Tim Kerr got his 22nd. Hextall picked up the win 5-1. They beat Boston. Washington on a goal by John Druce at 18:35 of the third period wins that game 4-3. Minnesota leading Chicago 3-1, and Vancouver a 2-1 lead on Calgary in the second period in Calgary. Nordmark and Guy, the goal scorers for Vancouver, and the Canucks have been playing very well.
They certainly have. Minnesota going for 3 in a row.
McBain toward the net, sticked aside by Froese. 4:25 to go in the third period. The T clears the zone. Carlisle gets it back. Leach going back, looks around, has some room to maneuver. Benton forechecking. Now Petit. Kissio, Maloney, and Nyland, the forward line. That pass missing connection again. This will be an icing on the Rangers. Taglianetti with a touch. 4 minutes exactly left in the third period. Rangers led 1-0. Jets tied it 1-1 late in the first period. Rangers took a 3-1 lead. Jets tied it with 2 shorthanded goals late in the second period.
4 minutes remaining in this third period. The score is tied. The Rangers do not want face-offs in their own zone. Winnipeg has been strong. Steen will now take the draw against Tony Granato. Granato may want to just get it to the boards here. He may want to just try and get it over to Shaw. Now Winnipeg changed their mind. They put a winger over on the boards. That's Smale. The Jets taking their time here, trying to see what the Rangers are going to do and then put people where they want them. Shaw is wide open along the boards, and all Granato has to do is get it back.
And he won the draw. Shaw moves it, but Olesen stops it and shoots off the glove of Froese. Elenick to the puck. Kept in by Olesen. Smale feeds Elenick. He moves in. Tees up a shot. Wide. Back behind the net. Smale. Checked by McIver. Gets it to Steen. He's checked by Granato. Granato trying to get free. Steen holding his stick. Elenick hit hard by Shaw. Good play. Then he was tripped up. And they get away with one there as Elenick tripped up David Shaw. Steen tied up by McIver. Loose puck in the corner. Shaw wheels away from Smale. Smale got a little bump from Froese. And Shaw able to move it up. And Granato gets out of the zone. And he beats Olesen. Granato moves in. Granato to Ogrodnik. He scores! What a play by Tony Granato, and John Ogrodnik scores his first goal of the season.
Sam, the Winnipeg defensemen have been pinching all night long, and they've done it a lot of times, and you'll see Ellett pinch at the Rangers' blue line, and he'll get mixed up with some players. Right here, he's pinching, gets mixed up with Sandstrom. Now the Rangers break out a 2-on-1, and Olesen, for some reason, got way out of position. Granato makes the play. He takes Olesen out of the play and gives the puck over to Ogrodnik. And Ogrodnik scores. Great plays all the way up the ice. First of all by Sandstrom to hold up Ellett, and then Granato to hold up the defenseman Olofsson. And you'll see the goal. Watch it. Granato cut in there to Olofsson, fight off the check and still give it back to Ogrodnik. And Granato weighs about 165 pounds before game time, about 162 right now, and he made the play.
Not only fight off the check, but take a slash. I mean,
yeah, that's what I meant.
Olofsson just whacked him.
Yeah, that was a big push, and he still kept the power to move the puck across and find Ogrodnik open.
Olofsson whacked him with the stick. 3 minutes to go in the third period. 4-3. Rangers lead for the third time in the game. The goal is Ogrodnik, his first from Granato at 16:47. Ashton moving down against Breshner. Breshner taps it. Ashton gets it back. Breshner takes him out. Puck is loose. They battle. Still loose. Ashton to Boschman, knocked away by Lafleur. Steen has gotten a misconduct at 16:47. Lafleur across the line. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Mullen behind the net. It's Ashton. Gives David Shaw an assist on that play. So it's Ogrodnik from Granato and Shaw at 16:47. And John, Tony Granato is becoming a game breaker for the Rangers. He continues to make big plays in clutch situations.
I think if there's one player you look at in this third period, it may be Bob Froese, who's been strong.
Kissio moving in. Kissio to the net. And it's blocked in front. Newman fires out, trying to hit the hanging Howard-Chuck. It's off his stick, but he's got it. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third period. 4-3, Rangers leading it. Nyland, whacked at by Fenton, clears the zone. Chevrier out to stop it. First goal the Rangers have gotten off Alan Chevrier in 11 shots. Howard-Chuck with Ellett to the net. Howard-Chuck shoots, save. It was tipped wide by Ellett. I thought Rose might have gotten a piece of it. 4 players on top of the puck along the boards with 1:32 to go in the third period. Friday at 7:30, right here on Madison Square Garden Network. Bruce Beck, Luke Carnesecca on Mitsubishi's Luke Carnesecca Show as they talk St. John's basketball, college basketball. Here's the place to be at 7:30.
I wonder what Lou does with those lap check trophies. They've only got about 25 of them. Anyway, timeout now has been called by the Rangers after Winnipeg had called theirs. Here's the last play. Ellett, the defenseman, will move up on the play, go to the net. You see him cutting right through the middle here, and the slap shot is a good low one. And Bob Froese did have that puck go off the outside of his left pad. Another solid save. Froese has simply played his position and played it well during this game. Face-off now, the important factor here in the Rangers zone. 1:32 left in regulation time. The goal is empty for Winnipeg. Chevrier is on the bench. 6 attackers for Winnipeg. 4 of them forwards.
Early, you think, John?
No, Winnipeg has controlled the face-off so well that their belief is they will control the face-off again. Lawton now taking the defensive draw to the left side of Bob Froese. Dan Maloney going for it.
Rangers have Lawton, Granato, Maloney, Patrick, and Greshner. Jets have Boschman, Ashton, Howard-Chuck, McBain, Carlisle, and Olofsson. Boschman wins to Olofsson. The shot blocked by Maloney. Karam's out of the zone.
Great play by Maloney. Anticipating a loss off the face-off, Maloney went out quickly, and Olofsson had one play, and that was to shoot it because he was the only man back there.
Jets' net is empty. Patrick trying to clear the zone. Kept in by McBain. He feeds Ashton. Ashton trying to get it through to Carlisle, and Carlisle whacking at the puck.
Yeah, he caught Patrick. Yes, he did. Patrick with a good play, knowing Ashton was on his backhand, and Ashton was cutting around trying to put the puck back in front, so Patrick went down. And Ashton with a backhand pass put it right into James Patrick. And the face-off will happen again to the left side of Bob Froese. And again, Sam, we mentioned it quite a bit, but you have to know what to do if you don't win the face-off. Both teams have used their timeouts, so they'll go to the face-off right away. There's where Ashton has to go to the backhand. And Carlisle, he's been reckless with that hockey stick here in the third period. Hacks away. Ashton, on the backhand, wants to put the pass in front. Look at Patrick read it with Carlisle all over him. Good play by James Patrick. Oh, I thought the Rangers had used their timeout. My apologies.
Oh, now they have.
It was just Winnipeg during the previous play.
With a chance to talk to his unit. 1:12 to go in the third period. Rangers leading 4-3. Rangers have never trailed. Led 1-0, 3-1. Jets have put some pressure on. Bob Froese has been brilliant here in the third period with 7 saves. So that doesn't seem like a high total. Most of them have been quality shots.
All but in front. There's been a lot of traffic in on top of Bob Froese in the third period. Granado being used here as a backup centerman for the draw. Granado, boy, his coaches love the way he plays. He's being used here in a very, very important situation. Again, watch Winnipeg here. They just put one man back, and that's Olofsson, so they're thinking shot and shot only. Everybody else will go to the net if Boschman wins the draw. Don Maloney got out last time to block it. Will he get out this time if Winnipeg wins it?
Boschman against Lawton. Shane Higher, the 6'7" linesman.
Well, Maloney's right
to drop it.
Maloney was right inside the circle. Hawerchuk is going to try and hold Maloney up if Boschman gets it back off the boards to Olofsson.
Carlisle is battling Granado. Trying to get position. Lawton unable to clear. Now he does. Puck rolling down the ice. Hawerchuk going back. This will be an icing against the Rangers. 1:03 to go. And the third face-off in the Rangers zone in the last 25 seconds.
Boschman that time tried to lift up the stick of Lawton and kick the puck back to Olofsson. Something different. It didn't quite work, mainly because he fanned on kicking the puck back. But it's quite a battle. Looks like an offense and defensive football line, and each player has a man. Watch the centerman in the white sweater. He picks it up, tries to kick the puck back. Lawton got out, and Don Maloney again gets out. And that's a good play by Maloney. Now they put Ashton on him.
Ellett comes in on the right point. Now Lawton and Boschman are chased. Now Hawerchuk and Granado will go in for the face-off. 1:03 to go.
My apologies, Sam. See number 7, that's Ashton. He's going to try and hold Maloney up. Now he does.
Greshner gets the puck. Patrick drives it around the boards. Stopped by McBain. Long shot. Deflected. As they score! Oh, a knuckleball. Was it a high stick? Did they wave it off?
Yes,
it's waved off. No goal. Bill McCreary has his arms raised. He said that puck was touched with a stick above the shoulder. A huge break for the Rangers.
We'll have to take a look at this one. Winnipeg kept the puck in, and it ended up being a shot that goes towards Froese. Now, that's the side of the ice where Bill McCreary is. You'll see the puck go around the boards here from Greshner to Patrick, bang, around. See McCreary, he's in that corner already. The shot from McBain, the puck is up in the air. Hey, that may have been a very good call.
You know what? The reason that was called, the stick was started up.
Yeah, well, it was
started above the shoulder, right. Coming down. Let's see.
Is that Hawerchuk that deflects this puck?
Maybe Boschman.
Maybe Boschman. It's right to the right side of Bob Froese, to the left side of your screen. The puck will be in the air. Boschman's got a stick up. Oh boy, that's pretty close. The rule is, it's above the shoulder, it's no goal. If it's below the shoulder, it's a goal.
And McCreary waved it off right away. Boschman's stick started high, came down, and was very, very close.
Oh boy, that's awful close for us to make a call on even. I don't even know. Did Boschman even touch it? It was a knuckleball shot. Very, very tough to call.
Something going on between Nyland and Ashton Carlisle, I thought. Nyland's going into the penalty box.
There will be a Winnipeg player go. You're right, it was Carlisle.
Carlisle has been fighting for position on every faceoff. Nyland and Carlisle, 2 minutes for slashing at 19:04. 56 seconds to go here in regulation time. Rangers leading 4-3. Getting a huge break with the goal disallowed.
You almost get the feeling that was by design for Nyland to take Carlisle off. Carlisle has been using his stick. Nyland goes out. They get 2 minutes each. And Carlisle's gone for the rest of the third period.
Jets have 6 skaters on. Their net is empty. 48 seconds remaining. Leach battling in the corner. Kissio trying to move it. Jets have control. Ashton shot blocked. Another shot saved by Froese. And it's underneath Michel Petit.
When a defenseman commits himself and drops down to the ice, you better hope the puck stays underneath him because they're already outmanned with the other team's goalie on the bench. And if you drop down and don't control the puck, there's a lot of the other team's jerseys standing upright getting scoring chances, and Petit ends up with the puck underneath him. You'll watch here, as the puck comes out of the corner, Kissio's rushed by everybody and loses the puck. Now Petit drops down. That puck goes through. There's two Jet players there wide open. Good save by Froze, and the puck went back underneath Michel Petit. Boy, what a battle here late in the third.
Well, this is the longest minute and a half of the season. Lawton against Boschman for the face-off. Stand off, and Greshner takes the puck. 35 seconds to go. Greshner moves it. McBain has it along the board. Taken away by Granato, and he skates clear. Granato leads Maloney. Ashton back for the puck. Jets net is empty. Time winding down on the Jets. Elliott sends it across for Hawerchuk. Through him to Ashton. 15 seconds to go. Saved by Froze off the chest. Greshner up the boards to Maloney. He controls. He clears the zone. Taken by Lawton. Net is empty. Lawton moves in. Lawton waits. And offside was called. Granato, they've gone in half a stride ahead with 5 seconds to go.
The Rangers were taking their time on the play because they knew they had the puck and the clock was winding down. And this looks like a 4-3 Ranger win. 5 seconds remaining here in the third. Face-off just outside of the Winnipeg zone. Sam, the Rangers last play for that face-off, Lawton tied up the other team's centerman. I believe it was Boschman. And that time it was Greshner that got to the loose puck. The Rangers forwards and defensemen getting to the loose pucks on those face-offs, it was exceptional to watch here in the third. Winnipeg generally won the draw, the actual draw, but the Rangers got to the loose pucks.
Ball start on that face-off. Kissio stepped away before the puck was dropped, and they'll do it again. 5 seconds to go in the third period. Rangers leading 4-3. Andrea Joyce is standing by at the MSG Sports Desk with a complete sports update. All the scores and highlights, so stay tuned for that. We'll come back to the Winnipeg Arena for a wrap-up of the game. Chevrier had gone to the bench. Now he's going back to the goal.
4 face-offs, the last 135 in the Rangers zone. Credit with Lawton with 3 out of 4 wins.
Rangers control, and they have won the first game of this road trip. Bob Froze comes up with 26 saves and 9 huge ones in the third period. He keeps the Jets off the board in the third. The Rangers survive a huge letdown at the end of the second period when 2 shorthanded goals were scored against them. Tony Granato comes up with another tremendous clutch play to set up John Ogrodnik for the game winner at 16:47. We'll be back in a little while. First to the MSG Sports Desk and Andrea Joyce. Game road trip for the New York Rangers, and though they blew a couple of leads in the game, a very satisfying win as the Rangers win 4-3 over the Winnipeg Jets, getting the game winner at 16:47 of the third period. Tony Granato, a great play.
All night long, the Jets defensemen were pinching, and this time Sandstrom creates some interference. The puck comes out, and Granato just makes 3 great plays here, and finally keeps his balance enough to set up Ogrodnik, and Ogrodnik finished the play. And boy, I mean, there was a lot of heroes for the Rangers again, Sam. Granato, Bob Froze, Ogrodnik with a goal, Guy Lafleur with a couple.
With 2 goals. Ogrodnik, a very happy man as he finally breaks through and gets his first goal of the season. Our player of the game is Bob Froze. He'll be in our studio in just a moment. We'll be right back. The New York Rangers, they now have a 5-point lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Patrick Division. A big win where the Rangers once again showed resiliency, John. They could have let down after some depressing moments, but they came back and they won it after the 2 shorthanded goals had tied them. Our player of the game, Bob Froze, with 26 saves. And Bob, what about the atmosphere in the locker room after that second period and after the 2 shorthanded goals were scored against you?
Well, I think we were embarrassed, but there was a couple guys making sure that we didn't pout, because that wasn't the time to pout. That was the time to get our act together and go out there. And what Bergie said when he came in was that they weren't really in the game until we let them in by maybe letting down a little bit. But it's a learning experience, and we're very fortunate to come out and have that big play to score the 4th goal. And I guess kind of fortunate that we won the game.
Bob, Sam and I were talking as the game started about how you have not been skating on the days of games. A lot of times ice is not available. Today it was. You did not skate. Now, I said goaltenders sometimes just don't like to skate the day of games. Sam said you're very superstitious. You going to tell us the straight goods here?
Well, I actually I don't know if you've ever noticed, JD, but some goalies like to keep their weight up, and I don't like to go out there in the morning and expend too much energy. So what I do in the morning doesn't really matter. It's what I do at night that counts, and Bergie is good about that. He had talked to me this morning before we went on and said, you don't have to go on if you don't want, and I'd sooner not go on because it's what I do at night, and it just seems like I get pumped up for the game more when I don't have to practice in the morning.
Bob, a very controversial call in the final minute. A goal disallowed. Let's take a look at it. Tell us the way you saw it.
Well, James Patrick got the puck behind the net, and I hollered for him to hit it, to shoot as hard as he could. Their player deflects it right there and took the arc because the puck was going to sail over top of the net, but as their player, I believe it was Boschman, deflected the puck, it took some speed off the puck, and eventually to put an arc on it, went over my shoulder in the net. But it was definitely, I don't think it was controversial at all. I don't even think they had too much of an argument because they argued for 5-10 seconds, but then that was it.
Okay. Your balance tonight, Bobby, especially early in the game, you seem to have good balance to prepare for the rebounds. The original stop, you put the puck in the corner, good with the rebounds. Did you feel more confident early in the hockey game?
Yeah, I did. When you're not playing a lot, or you're going, a week in between starts or whatever, sometimes it's hard to stay sharp, and you start maybe second-guessing yourself or whatever. And being a goaltender, you would know, JD, that's when you get into trouble. But it's when you don't have to think and you feel positive out there that's when everything just seems to flow. And I felt tonight like I was standing up and I was challenging the shooters, and a lot of pucks were hitting me, and I was able to freeze certain ones or whatever. But I felt good right from the start, and I couldn't, I didn't have a real good warm-up, and I was kind of worried that I didn't go out to skate this morning. I thought it would come back to haunt me, but it worked out fine, and like I said, we scored that big goal in the third period, the fourth goal. It seemed like the fourth period, but to win the game.
Bob, thank you much for being with us, and congratulations on a fine game.
It's always a pleasure to speak to not only one, but both of you gentlemen.
Nice hat, Bob. Bob Froese, winning goaltender, 5-2-1 on the road. He gets the Rangers off to a good start on this 6-game road trip. The Rangers beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-3. We'll be right back. Coming up next, a complete update with the MSG Sports Desk. Andrea Joy standing by, and then Inside Cycling. Detroit defeats the Islanders 5-3. Islanders have lost 5 in a row. Yzerman with 2 goals in that one. Philadelphia, Mike Bullard, acquired in a trade today with St. Louis, scored a goal in that one for Philly. They beat Boston 5-1. Washington, a goal by John Druce at 18:35 of the third, winning 4-3. Minnesota's ahead of Chicago 3-1. Vancouver leading Calgary 2-1 in the second, and LA leading New Jersey 1-0 in the second. Rangers now have a 5-point lead on both Pittsburgh and Washington in the Patrick Division, and 16 road points for the Rangers this season.
Edmonton is the only other team with at least 16 points on the road, and I think now for us to look ahead, it's going to be very interesting. They're going into Alberta, Calgary, and Edmonton, 2 of the better teams. It's going to be a real test for the Rangers. It's going to be fun to watch.
See you in Calgary.
Absolutely.
On to Calgary, Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern Time, the New York Rangers and the Calgary Flames. Here at the Winnipeg Arena, the New York Rangers, on a goal by John Ogrodnik, set up by this man, Tony Granato, at 16:47 of the third period, defeat the Winnipeg Jets 4-3. That wraps it up here at the Winnipeg Arena. We'll see you in Calgary on Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern Time. For John Davidson and Bruce Beck, this is Sam Rosen. So long, everyone.
New York Rangers hockey has been brought to you by...
Almost there, boys. Drop the tropical berry flavor into the volcano. Why?
Look at the starting lineup for Quebec Nordiques. I mean, Sundin in the middle, Pavlenko, Kamensky. This could be great fun against Steen and Solani and Shannon.
Sundin and Steen for the opening face-off. Steen pulls it back to Lawler. Lawler gets to center, pokes it down into the Quebec zone. Back forward is Lasician. And it's icing against the Winnipeg Jets on 8 seconds in.
And that poses a question. Why wouldn't Mike Lawler take one more step? He wasn't being challenged, Eddie.
Well, I think what that was, Mike Lawler is talking to Thomas Steen right now. I think starting at the beginning of the game, I think Mike Lawler just anticipated Thomas Steen would break right to the boards right away. I think that was just kind of a pass to a player that's supposed to be there, like a quarterback passing to a receiver that's supposed to be there. I think there's a little miscommunication there.
Saw Sundin and Steen face off in a circle to the left of Essenza. Steen again wins the draw, this time to Housley. Housley's pass goes up the middle of center. That's picked off Solani, breaking it along. Here's Solani. He scores! One more to go. Teemu Solani gets another standing O at the Winnipeg Arena. Goal number 52, and a beautiful